Welcome to episode 130 of the Reptile Gumbo podcast. We are joined by Rachel tonight. Katie is feeling under the weather, so Rachel's filling in tonight, and Robert's without a laptop, so maybe it's weird to see all of Robert. But say hi to the people, Robert.
Hi, people.
Oh, there we go.
Sorry, I was dealing with something.
Let's get all of our stuff out of the way. Our giveaway this month. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute because it has to do with our guests as well. Let's go sponsors. If you're looking for a high quality PPC,
I make racks and cages. Yeah, if you need one, call me.
Yeah, if you need a rack or a cage,
send me a message, whatever you want to do.
Lone Star or lsreptileracks.com. .com. See you.
Yeah. They're grilling me after 2 years.
So check them out if you need a rack, if you need a cage, if you need, I don't know, a sign made, you can make signs.
Yep.
Cutting boards.
Cutting boards.
No.
They're not doing cutting boards.
No, they're just too much.
But fuck them.
Too much time for not enough return.
Fuck cutting boards.
And there's like a million people making cutting boards.
That is true. I was amazed at some of the ones that took forever to sell, and they were still good cutting boards that took forever to sell. It's so weird. Also, let's go through our herps. You just had a herp show in Austin.
Yes.
Where y'all had no power at some point.
I guess lightning hit the building sometime we had bad storms come through Saturday.
The metal building, that'll do it.
And when we all got there Sunday morning, well, Rachel and I didn't get there till like 9:30. So it was apparently when they got there at 9, there was no power and it was hot and they never did get the water working in the bathrooms. So Rachel kept having to ferry people to the
potty,
to the bathroom, but
because the women's restroom didn't work at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the men's, we were able to use the urinal.
So where were you driving up to the church?
No.
Oh, you pass
no,
up.
if you go down and go under and then come back up and go under again.
Oh shit, that's a ways. Yeah, for no one's been to the venue, that's like half
it's like
a mile.
10 minutes.
Yeah,
it's like 10
minutes to get to the bathroom.
Yeah, it's like 2 miles that way and then 2 miles back this way.
Yeah, it's half a mile by the way the bird probably flies, but not by the way you
drive. If you could go straight to the gas station, it'd be great, but you have to, it's a feeder road. So and it's all under construction right now.
Why is every animal wanting to make noise right now?
I was going to say, what is that making noise? That's a guinea pig, yeah?
Go put them in their crates or something if you have to, or kill the guinea pig. I don't care, Joe. Jesus Christ. Every animal can't fucking be quiet for this like 1 segment of the day. The rest of the day, they're just sitting there doing nothing.
Right.
Right now, I'm like, hey, shut the hell up. Just World War II over here.
That's
3,
okay.
5, 7.
Katie must have thought y'all did such a horrible job advertising Lone Star Reptile Rex that she sent me the actual advertisement. So now I have it.
It was good.
We're good.
I was told don't kill the guinea pig. I'm assuming that's Ilana. Maybe it's Katie. I don't know who it is.
Ilana doesn't exist to us anymore.
That's true. So. Ilana doesn't exist. She moved away. She's not a real person anymore. So fuck that. That's not
well, she hasn't moved yet. She moves this weekend. But
yeah, but she's.
I told her bye.
Dad's guinea pig, the other white meat.
I love it.
I said bye, you dirty bitch, and turned around and walked off.
Like, hey Sam.
But really, are we gonna miss her or the dog?
I mean, I like Lana. She's okay.
I love Lana,
really
and I love Poseidon.
Yeah, it's definitely Poseidon.
It's definitely Poseidon.
I'm gonna miss Alana more.
She's like, you can have him, but you're gonna hate him after a day because he's gonna cry the whole time.
Stresses the shit out.
Well, you saw him at
at the party
at the Tipsy Trinket.
She walked inside to go to the bathroom and he couldn't find her, and he was about to just run out into the road.
Yeah.
Anyways, speaking of Tipsy Trinket and herps, let's do the herp shows real quick. So you had the one in Austin. It was a decent show for you as far as shows have been going lately. I mean, it's rough kind of for everybody.
Yes, it was not good as far as Austin normally is, but it was good as far as shows have been lately.
Yes. Which, with gas getting below $3 soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
Cross fingers.
Fingers crossed.
But we have Conroe coming up September 10th and 11th. That's going to be the next big one. We are set up. I'm set up in the lobby. So when you come in, say hi to me. I'll be in the lobby somewhere. I looked on the map. My table's not there, but it says I'm in the lobby. So
who knows?
I'll be there somewhere. New Orleans, September 17th and 18th. Waco, Texas, October 15th and 16th. Lafayette, Louisiana, November 5th and 6th. Then the home show in Pearland, Texas, November 12th and 13th. Just super excited to sleep in my own bed. Back to Austin, Texas, December 3rd and 4th. And then the last one for the year is Slidell, Louisiana. The big one is Slidell, December 10th and 11th. Your last chance to buy Christmas presents.
Yep. I really enjoy the Austin show. Really good customers out there.
Yeah.
It's a big venue, a lot of vendors.
It's a big venue.
But
it's not a skating rink.
Correct.
Volleyball court.
They that venue's got it's got some challenges. They had some electrical problems on Saturday with people's breakers flipping and things, and people were turning off their lights just because it was flipping breakers. But other than that, and the bathrooms are kind of
small.
Yeah, kind of.
That's the one that has a weird bathroom. You go in the men's bathroom and it's got this whole extra room
that's bigger than the bathroom.
There's nothing there.
Mm-mm.
It's just you walk through.
Yeah.
Does the women's
Yes,
restroom
we
have
have that same too. I think it's supposed to be a locker room. Like
Yeah,
I think
that
there's
would
gonna
make
line.
sense.
I think there's gonna put lockers in
That-
there, and
I
it'll
don't-
be like a little changing space.
I don't think they're ever going to do that, but I think that was what the original
I think that's what
plan
the original
was.
plan.
That makes
yeah.
way more sense because I was just trying to like, are we supposed to put couches in here and
No,
just
I think
chill in the
Right.
there's-
bathroom?
And
A
smell
bench
people's
in
shit the whole
ours.
time.
There's
ours-
nothing in there.
Ours,
Pretty
ours
sure
is
there
empty.
was.
Wide ass open room.
Yeah.
It's built weird.
Yeah.
But
Because I
also,
like stood back there and jumped out and scared Alexander England the other day. Probably should scare the guy who breeds venomous snakes.
you know, throw one on.
I
you.
mean,
Yeah.
they throw one at you.
Also shout out to I'll make sure Wiregrass Exotics. We're up there on our sign. Wiregrass Exotics. If you're in around Ozark, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, go by visit them for all your reptile and feeder needs.
It's Katie.
It is, yeah. And also our code for VivTech. If you need a UVB LED light bulb, check out VivTech. That's a lot of letters there. Check out VivTech and use code Gumbo22. It's all one thing, capital Gumbo22 for 15% off.
I'm going to assume your dad meant shitters, not
You
shutters.
can always
Yeah.
show at Bucky's. Yeah, it's shitters. It is the best toilet on earth. For anybody out there that's never been to a Bucky's,
No, it doesn't have a bidet. If it had a bidet, it'd be the best toilet on earth.
it's the best
It's
public
public
restroom.
bathroom.
Yeah, in the United States.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So like if people outside of and it's now the South because it's not just Texas, it's Florida, Alabama. If you've never been to a Bucky's and don't understand why everybody's so big on it, it's the best place on earth other than your home to
Snacks.
take a shit.
I forgot.
Snacks.
I forget what vendor that was from Louisiana this weekend was talking about. They were like, I didn't understand what the hype was
Oh yeah.
until I stopped at the one in Baytown.
Yeah.
I can't
That's a
remember
good
what
one,
it was
too.
either.
Holy shit.
Yeah, there's
And I was
5
like,
million
yeah.
stalls. Last time I went to one, I needed to use a stall. I opened it. It said open. Was not
Somebody's
person
in it.
sitting on the toilet. I'm like, motherfucker, lock the
the
door.
Oh, that
bro.
happens
Lock
all the
the
time in the
door.
women's
The one in
bathroom.
Katy has the indicator lights.
Oh, really?
It's the only one like that. It was a thing they were trying out. But yeah, you just stand outside and it tells you stall 6, it'll turn green.
Oh, nice.
And then you just go in and go to number 6. And
Yes.
yeah.
It's a great place to go to the bathroom
and get really good snacks.
and get really good snacks.
And the coffee's pretty good too.
And you can get the barbecue's not that bad,
It's not that good either.
but it's
decent.
I've had worse at barbecue restaurants.
Yes.
Yes.
This is a gas station. So for a gas station,
If you're looking for tender barbecue, it's not the place because their brisket is not.
but you're talking
tender.
brisket.
Yeah.
So I always get the pulled pork.
Ah.
So the pulled pork is good.
I don't think I've ever had the pulled
And then the beef, there's 5 million beef jerky flavors.
And see, I don't buy the sandwiches off the hot table
You
thing.
order it.
Yeah, because the bottom bun's just soggy, nasty mess.
That's true. We should probably get to.
Yeah, I mean, we're only like 9 minutes in, and we've talked about
We're gonna talk about Bucky's.
barbecue, taking shits, and
Yeah.
sponsors.
Like my dad said, it's stop there is wasted if you can't work up a good shit.
Yep.
So everything.
Jake D. Holes tuning in from PA.
From-
I love the show. Awesome.
Thanks,
Nice.
Jake.
Awesome.
Katie down there.
Hey, Katie finally figured out how to make a show her name.
It does there.
Yes, the breakfast tacos are amazing.
She does like
Katie.
the breakfast tacos there. Yeah, it's a different place. It's hard to. Everybody's like it's like gas station. No, I mean there's
No.
gas there,
There's a lot more than
but
that.
I mean you could also buy a deer blind and a feeder and some
You
corn.
can. Yes, you
Ice
can.
chest,
Buy grills.
clothes.
There's a whole outdoor section.
The one in Texas City has a full
Shoes.
fishing section.
Yeah.
Most of them
Always
have
get a bathing suit
a
there.
hunting section. Yeah. It's
Make a
Yeah.
special episode just about food. Yeah,
we could, man.
I like Nathan's idea.
we should just make a whole section about the food at a Bucky's.
The rhino and hippo tacos.
Yep.
That's what he's talking about. That's 2 of their types of tacos you
Oh,
can
okay.
Yes.
Oh, it was Miller Radovich.
get.
Yeah, it's a great place. All right, so let's is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna do our giveaway, but I'll wait till we get our guest in because our guests are part of our giveaway. So
Are we actually doing the giveaway today?
No, they have one more day.
Okay.
Tomorrow's the 31st. So they have one more day, so we're not doing it.
Gotcha.
Didn't. Okay, ready? Here we go. So we're joined tonight by Eric and Randi Yaw of Colossal Constrictors. How are y'all doing?
Good, you?
Pretty good. I'm very good now that I had pizza to eat thanks to Colossal Constrictors.
Yes,
Yeah,
it was
thank
amazing.
you.
Thank y'all.
Y'all are officially our favorite guests that we've had on because we got food.
Oh, that chocolate lava cake. It was so good, but so sweet. I can only eat half of one for right now. I have the other half for later, but it was
Did you
amazing.
do the icing or no?
No, I
They
didn't
did not,
do the
which
icing.
means I have extra icing later. So my diabetes will enjoy that.
Yeah, I just can't eat that much sweets. So like the cake itself, I knew would be enough.
You know what? Who really needs both feet? I mean,
I mean,
old Tink Tink made it to the Olympics. I
He
mean, he
may
did
just-
kill his girlfriend, but he made it to the Olympics with no feet.
you may only lose a little bit of toes though. You may still.
I don't want to fall over because I have no toes.
Well, with your lumbering giant ass self, you would
That'd be
definitely fall
embarrassing.
over.
Is there pineapple on it?
C anal side exotics.
Kick them out of
Shut
the
up.
fucking chat.
C anals. You're back to being C anal side exotics. Asking about pineapple on pizza. Nasty ass.
Ew, yuck.
Pineapple belongs one way: grilled and by itself. That's it. That's all I want. Grilled and by itself.
I like it just
Out of a can?
by itself. Yeah,
Just a fork in a can.
yeah.
I would do that too.
Cold.
Actually.
It has to be.
Like pears.
Yeah.
Canned pears are amazing.
Yeah,
Why don't you just cut one up or buy it already cut up at HEB?
What? Pineapple?
Pineapple.
because is that
Because sometimes the super sweet sugary syrup they're in a can is amazing.
Oh, see, I can
Again,
do that.
diabetes be damned.
Yeah, you do that. I like the fresh by itself.
got the diabetes?
Anyways, so let me go do our giveaway real quick. Our giveaway this month is sponsored by Colossal Constrictors, and it is a set of Redline Science. I was going to mess it up. Redline Science cleaning supplies, which I have. It's the scraper, which I love the scraper. It's the little scraping tools, which are great for like getting in the crevices of a tub. I've used it many times for scraping urates out of a tub because
Have any of those?
you need to get them.
Yeah.
Yeah, urate. Because I mean, urates are basically harder than concrete.
Oh, I know. I just let them soak in water while I'm doing everything else.
And then also a pair of hemostats for feeding. A big long ass. So like if you've got like a retic, they're
They're
gonna be great.
huge.
Yeah, they're like 24-inch hemostats or something like that. You'll be good. If they bite you there, it's your fault.
Yeah.
But all you have to do is go over to, you got one more day. If anybody's listening to this right now, go over to our Facebook page. It's pinned at the top and just tell us your favorite tool or your favorite thing that you use in your reptile room, and you're in it in for the giveaway. That's all you got to do. Just go over there and do that.
Long tongs. I swear those are my favorite thing.
Long tongs,
The long tongs.
Long-
tongs. Long tongs.
thick long tongs.
They're not thick. They're just long tongs.
Okay. just saying to Robert, she likes long tongs.
I know.
Okay. So you may have to sit out the next time.
Yeah,
Anyways.
whatever.
Does he though?
Works for me. I mean, but
He's like, I'll just watch.
Long as-
Starting an OnlyFans on the side.
The rules, as long as I get off. All right. Anyways, over to Colossal Constrictor. So let's talk snakes for I guess a little bit at least.
Yeah.
What all do y'all breed or have, or what is your thing?
Ooh. So we mostly breed boas. We have 60 plus boas, and then 6 retics, 2 berms, some short tails, Asian water monitor, white throat monitor, and then some tortoises and a tegu.
What kind of tortoises do you have?
A
Sulcata.
Don't they
and
suck?
they do suck. And
God, they suck.
desert Sonoran tortoise.
Oh, y'all get desert tortoises out there. We can't touch our tortoises here, or else we go to jail.
That sucks. She's actually really cool.
She was walking in my friend's driveway, and they're like, "Your tortoise got out." I'm like, "We don't have a tortoise." Now I've got a tortoise.
Yeah. So sulcatas suck, and I say that as I own. Like I don't know what I'm up to now.
I say, don't
Too
you
many.
have several?
I do. I've got 5, 6,
Well, how many are in Louisiana?
4, and one's here. So I got 5.
Okay.
There you go.
They suck no matter what state they're in. They're still over there, and it's literally the worst beginner tortoise anybody could ever buy, and it's the one everyone fucking buys.
Everybody buys
That's
it.
how we got it. It was gifted to us.
Yeah.
It's like we had cherry. We have cherry head.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm amazed when I find people that bought tortoises, like bought sulcatas. It's kind of like bearded dragons. I'm amazed when I find somebody that bought a bearded dragon.
we bought 2, but they were morphs, and
Yeah,
we're
but
gonna sell them
They're going to be around.
at Conroe. We raised them up, ready to breed, and decided not to breed them.
Yeah, it's because why? Because why?
Chris is calling out Randy. He
Oh.
said she's cheating on him.
Nice.
Sucks, sucks for you, Chris.
Hey, I decided to support Chris tonight.
Well, I almost wore the shirt too, and I was like,
oh, you should have.
I don't want to upset James.
I don't care.
You ain't gonna say me. I could have wore my little 15 minutes of lame pin that I have from Chris. It's downstairs. That's all I got. I don't have a shirt.
You have a shirt?
That involves buying a shirt. I don't have tits. He didn't send me.
I didn't buy one, but I have one.
What the fuck, Chris?
I need one of the new ones.
I was gonna say, I've got one.
That's my goal, Chris, is just to be in the middle. I find at the bottom, honestly.
That's right.
I mean, as long as I'm there. So y'all have 60 boas.
Yeah.
That's gotta fucking suck to feed.
Yeah, it sucks sometimes. Right now, getting ready for breeding, feeding them pretty consistently. And we have a couple big Argentines that eat small rabbits and whatnot.
You can almost probably buy rabbits cheaper some places than you can rats.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, anymore.
Yeah, rats are becoming crazy.
Yeah, like a large rat's like $4 or $5.
Well,
Well, it's like a jumbo.
The jumbos are $5 to $7 a piece.
Yeah, that Missouri feed is up from $30 a bag to like 40 something bucks a bag now.
But I can still find it for 30 at the
Don't be giving away our places.
At
Shut
one
your
of the
mouth.
feed stores not near me. It takes me half an hour to get there.
So are y'all breeding your own rodents or buying them all?
We are not. We buy them all from Cold Blooded Cafe.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I cannot breed. I would not. I just don't want to do it. I use so many mice and it would make sense, but I would hate keeping snakes at that point if I had to breed mice to keep myself.
I've gotten to
I will
where
do nice.
I can't even go in the garage to put the trash can out. I think I'm become allergic to them or something. It instantly gives me a headache.
Yeah,
the smell does, and it doesn't smell bad. It's just that they have a particular smell.
So I breed rats and African softfur,
Okay.
and they're in my garage.
Fucking Jason Miller-Radovich getting it for $26.
Dang!
Wow,
it
not
was
here.
A little under 30 when I picked up a bag a couple weeks ago.
I wish.
That's because Jason's in a state where the only expensive stuff is the stuff to grow weed. If it's not for growing weed, it's fine.
Where are you guys located at?
In Gilbert, Arizona. So basically,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hot.
It's hot.
That's
Yeah, we haven't been able to ship anything for a month that we have to go out because it's so damn hot here.
Oh yeah.
That was I had to go today to get a snake from FedEx because the person I got it from is in California, and it was like the first time temperatures had dropped just low enough for her to be able to send it to me.
Oh wow!
I saw a thing today that the coolest spot in the entire country was West Texas today.
Really?
What?
It was like the high was in the low 70s today in like Midland, Odessa, and they showed a whole graphic of the country, and it was like the coolest spot in the whole country besides like Alaska.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, I'm like that just doesn't even seem
Makes
doesn't even work.
It's very hard to reject climate change right now.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
After we went through, I don't know, a summer of no rain, and now we've gone through a week of all the rain we should have gotten in the summer.
And we're probably going to get schwacked by a hurricane sometime in the next month. I don't know what he's talking about.
I don't know what Miller. What is Tech Lab Miller-Radovich? I'm assuming. I don't know. I don't want to assume anything. Reading chat. Anyways, so what is y'all? So y'all do boas. I like boas.
I like boas.
When I first got into snakes, that was my thing. I did boas, and then I unfortunately, and I've said it before in here, I lost all my boas to some illness. I'm assuming one of the viruses that we now know about, but did not know about then. I lost all of my boas, and they only got sick, and so I've slowly gotten back into them now. But man, they just take up so much space.
Yes.
So that's why I like sand boas. I keep sand boas in a lot less space, but as much as I do love sand boas, big Colombians are my favorite. So what is the main thing y'all focus on? Or y'all kind of across the board?
No, we focus on morphs, making the latest, greatest, hottest morph.
How's that going for you?
It's hard, man.
It's hard to keep up.
Yeah, we just picked up a really good female that should set us up in the future, but it's a couple years to breed her. So
You mean you can't be like a ball python person and have it ready like next year?
I wish.
Just pump it full of rats and then have them ready next year, breed like 3 clutches, and then it some reason dies.
They could be like a year old and get them up to 1,200 grams. And, you know, I had someone this weekend talking about how they bought their first snakes a year ago, and they bought nothing but babies, and I'm breeding them up, raising them up and doing it right. And I'm breeding next year, and I'm going,
Nope, not doing it right.
and I'm
My calendar doesn't work here.
They're only gonna be like 18 months old to a year, 2 years. And yeah, as long as they get over 1,200 grams, they're good to go.
Yeah, that's not how that shit works.
Not
man.
true.
Yeah.
Just like I mean, I guess people do it with boas, but like boas get fat. Like if you
Mhm.
try and power feed them.
Yeah.
Yes.
They get lazy. Like when you get
Yes.
them males that get too big, they get super lazy. And
I found that out.
I feel attacked. Like I feel like
Fast
my
lazy
whole
males.
life. Yeah.
I found that out. When I bought a male, like a 5-foot adult male, one of my first like big boa pairs I bought was a big female and a big male, and that big male didn't want shit to do with her. He'd just sit in the corner and stare.
He's like,
But I put my little male in there, went to
Yep.
town.
I know.
Yeah.
I have one big male Doomerals and one small male
You're-
Doomeral. We'll find out what happens this year.
The small male will try his hardest.
I'm sure he will, but he's going to be really small.
I saw-
compared to the
Oh, you'll be
females.
surprised. You'll be surprised what they can do.
He's like
No.
this big.
You would be
or so,
shocked.
so-
I had a
yeah.
giant female, the Sunglow is huge, but the male was really tiny. He was
Yeah.
2 years.
yeah,
and
he's
he got the job done.
Yeah, he's like 19 inches, 20.
Yeah, I have like
Yeah.
a 2-year-old male, and then my biggest female Doomeral, she's about 8 feet and about
Well, I mean
35 pounds.
that works. When I was like 19, I was all about it.
But you look at like retic people when you watch them pair shit, and it's like
Yeah.
putting a worm on top of.
I saw somebody posted they were breeding one of the Nerodia. I don't remember which one. And it was a big, chunky female, and the male was like this big and like barely took up a third of her body. But
They'll do it.
He does it.
Yeah.
They just gotta get one in there.
Hey man,
that's all it is.
I know some people that. Never mind. Never mind. Let me get my Dr. Pepper here.
Squirrel.
Well, when the thing is, a lot of boas we get way bigger. When you look at, and we'll talk about locale stuff later, but like boas are not as big as they tend to get in the hobby in the wild. So like an adult male in the wild is small and skinny.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I mean, look at the ball python video that Dave Kaufman just put out. The males that he caught were, I mean, obvious that they don't look like some of the males most of the males we see in captivity.
Yeah.
So I mean, we get boas pretty big. You know, because when I first got into boas, it was always like, who can get the biggest one? You get on like king snake, and it would just be like massive 8 and 9 foot and 10 foot Colombian. Sometimes like, how the hell did you get it to that? But you don't see that now because they all died.
I mean, I don't want to say it. Yeah. So there's a vendor that does some of the shows that does photos with a gigantic berm.
Yeah.
What they tell you they feed that thing? Or they told someone they feed it a large rabbit every 10 days or something like that.
So I don't know. It was way,
and it had a huge lump in it
like
from having been fed.
that big
And
spot.
they're like I'm like, damn, that stinks. I bet it's got globs and gobs of fat.
Well, because they all that fat's all in the organs. It's not like
Mhm.
you get rolls on the outside; you get all in the organs.
Yeah, I mean,
so y'all have big. You said big Argentines.
Yeah, we've got some big Argentines, and then
We've got berms
yeah,
too.
we've got berms and reef.
And so you're probably feeding those guys once every 3 weeks?
6 weeks.
I feed them every
6
6
weeks. There you go.
I like to keep them thinner. I mean, they eat 7 to 10 pound rabbits when they eat, but or at least the berms and retics do. But every 6 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, when you see those berms that are loose in Florida, that's how a wild berm is supposed to look.
Yeah,
and they don't roll over on the ground. There's not that fat roll, so that everybody seems to like. You can see, especially when they're taking pictures, you'll see like the tail hang down. You're like, the tail does not match the rest of the body because the rest of the body is just huge and fat, and a skinny little tail.
Yeah.
So
Guilty.
yeah. Now,
so
go ahead.
I learned about a new snake species this weekend that scared the shit out of me.
What is it?
A keeled rat snake. Ptyas, Ptyas.
Ptyas. I've heard of them.
Dude, Blake Wilson had one, and he was trying to get it into a display.
I missed that.
And John and I just happened to be walking around, and then he showed us a video of him trying to wrangle it in his yard. They're super fast, and big mouth, and they like to bite.
Yeah.
And Blake showed us a video of him trying to wrangle it in the yard, trying to get it in the tote to bring it to the show. Crazy, man. And then one of the guys from Pets of Plenty happened to post a video of one of his. He was trying to get it out. He had put it in a rack because it had a malfunction with its enclosure. Trying to get it out of the rack. Dude, that thing was that's a lot of snake.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Moving
I've
that
never
fast.
dealt with
Good
it.
God.
How big are they?
He sold it too this weekend. Well, that thing was probably, I don't know, 8-9 foot.
So
But
like bandit size?
yeah, but like this big around.
Oh shit.
And
they're a thick body,
fast
right?
like bandit.
Yeah. I was
And
like,
just they have a weird looking face. Like their head is all mouth.
I'm gonna
yeah.
have to look this up.
Anyway,
So Nathan Holcomb said he remembers when he had a Colombian, he was criticized because it was 5.5 foot, and the guy kept telling him, "Well, mine's 8 when it passed. Yours should be larger." I'm like, yeah,
There's a reason.
that's kind of like the folks when you sell
I was
goldfish.
8 foot long and 4 years old when it passed.
Well, it's like the old goldfish thing, it was almost buy goldfish, and you're like, well, these things, they should live in a big tank. They get 40, 50 years old. Well, mine only lives 6 months. Yeah,
Right.
that's
In a
what I'm
bowl.
trying to say.
On my kitchen table with the same water that I never changed.
So, what is the next biggest and greatest thing y'all are working towards with this season? What are y'all trying to hit on, or did you?
Now this year we struck out. We were trying to do some VPI stuff, but the female we were raising up didn't prove out to be VPI. But next year we've got some IMG ghost stuff we're working with, and some blood. I don't know if you've seen anything on the demon stuff from boas, but it's a blood and type 1 anery.
Is that the extremely black one?
No, they get like a blue color.
Oh, okay.
With like a dark blue eye. One of our good friends has produced them. They're awesome looking.
Now I gotta look it up. That was so when I got into boas, it was very simple. Like in 2003, it was albino. There was aneries, which I didn't like, but they made snows. and there were hypos and some jungles, and that's about it.
And Motley's.
Yeah, Motley's,
That's
and then
Motley.
Bloods came along, and I was like, that's kind of cool, but I don't like Central American stuff. But then they mixed it with Sunglow, and I was like, okay, it's cool when you mix it with Sunglow.
Yeah,
That's what we did.
yeah. That's this last year we had all like head for Red Dragon stuff. We were trying to prove that out, but the demon stuff, if you find it, they're pretty awesome. Chaz from Low Key Boas produced them, and then one of our other friends, Brad, has posted some pictures on Brad Sherman reptiles. You can see them compared to a Red Dragon. They're pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm not sure I want you showing Rachel this.
What? I don't think he's too happy with my new obsession of boas.
Well, you got to breed them. So.
James got a Dumerals boa, and then now we have 9.
No, we have 8.
I was given one, and then y'all were like, let me go ahead and buy all these.
Yeah, so he was given one, and I kind of fell in love with it. And then
because we had it for a couple weeks.
It lived at my house for a little bit, and then I saw this really big one that's almost 8 foot long and about 35 pounds, and got her, and it just kind of tumbled from there. I went from having 1 to now there's 8 of them.
That's why I love the Argentines, just like you love your Dumerals. The Argentines are just great.
They're so pretty, and they've got the different colors. Like I have some of the ones that are really like the peachy pink color. I have 3 females that are that way, and 1 male that's got a little bit of it on the back of his head. And then I have some that are the really dark Dumerals and some that are a little bit lighter than that. So it would be really interesting to see what all they pop out with. So I should have 3 females. Do I what?
You haven't made any yet?
Not yet. So I tried last year, but I don't think I did it
Robert's
right.
like, nope.
So I've done a lot more research since then. So I have a better plan this year. And I have 3 females that I'm going to be breeding this year. So
good.
Nice.
That'd be great.
I'm excited. It'll all be their first time, so it'll be kind of interesting.
Have you ever had live birth?
I haven't. This will be my first live birth.
It's fun.
So I'm very exciting, and I can't wait.
It's exciting.
I always find it funny when Python people are like, it's gross. I'm like, you're gross. Shut up. It's awesome. I love a pile of goo and babies.
I was going to say, I don't see how it's any different than regular birth.
That's pretty messy.
It's pretty messy. The clean,
Really messy.
the picking them out is fun, and all that's fun. It sucks once you take the boa out and you realize, oh shit, now I have to clean all this up, and you're having to scoop all the goo into a trash can, and it doesn't really wipe that easy. Like it smears really easy.
Yeah.
It's not super absorbent into a paper towel.
So that's when you just use old towels and clean it up and throw them away.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, you can do that.
You can do that,
I'll 100% do that then.
but it's totally worth it.
Yes.
Now you get spoiled with sand boas because sand boas don't do the same thing as boa constrictor birth. Sand boas don't have the goo because they hatch inside the mom and then come out. So there's 2 different types of live birth. There's the live birth for like boa constrictors, where they come out in the big pile of goo and all the mass and all that stuff, because they're coming out inside of basically an egg.
Exactly.
But the type that sand boas do, it's different. They hatch inside the mother and then come out live, and all the mess is left inside.
Oh, she just absorbed.
I didn't realize that for years, and I had bred stuff for years, but I'd never put 2 and 2 together. And then I realized there's no fucking mess when I deal with sand boas, and I realized that's because it's a completely different birthing process. So there's egg layers and then 2 different types of live birth.
Ew, gross.
Hey, Laney's here.
Jason was saying the worst is when you go on a vacation to Texas and have to clean that goo a week after the fact.
Yeah.
God, that would suck.
Yeah, because I seem to remember he got home and was like, I think these were born the day I left.
Yeah, that's when you get out a paint scraper.
That was last summer when they were here.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
So now you get out red line.
That's true. You get the red line
Use
scraper.
a red line scraper.
That is true. I don't have to use a paint scraper anymore.
Speaking of red line, I'm sure people got the email or saw today that Morph Market is now partnered with Red Line Shipping, which is, what's his name? That was with Ship Your Reptiles, was one of the founders of Ship Your Reptiles.
I don't know which one.
I guess I could go back and look at it.
But I did. So it is. And I looked. So I did something. The person that shipped me my snake today, I said, hey, since you just shipped a snake, give me your zip code and give me the dimensions and the weight of the box. And I compared versus Reptiles to You, who we all love. That is Debbie. And Debbie is an amazing person. And I compared it to the new one, Redline. And it's about the same. And they don't have Debbie.
Yeah.
So I'm not bad mouthing Redline. If you want to go that way, anybody wants to go.
Yeah.
But
they don't have Debbie.
It's like we love Debbie.
Debbie Price is the most amazing person if you ship reptiles.
There was a lot of comments on when John posted it today on Facebook. There was a lot of comments that were people comparing prices, and they're like, with the volume that I ship and the discount that I've managed to get with whoever they currently use, it's much more expensive. But he's telling them, call them up. And Robin, call them up and see what they can do. But then you had a lot of people are like, I'm not going anywhere. I've been working with Debbie for years, and she's pulled magic tricks.
Or those that are with Ship Your Reptiles. They've been with them forever.
Robin was one of the founders of Ship Your Reptiles. He and Chad.
So maybe he'll bring some people over, but
it's been a couple of years from what I read today since they.
I don't think it's a bad thing for the hobby to have many options, though, because
you guys had Chad on y'all's podcast, right?
I was gonna say Chad Brown.
Yeah.
I think it legitimizes reptile breeding and shipping a little more by having more companies that are doing it.
100%.
So that is good. I love Debbie Price to death, and
I
know that if my package gets lost, she'll kill somebody.
Before I even really knew Debbie, I was at a show.
Douglas Ray White goes, I can message or call Debbie, though.
That's right.
100% true.
I was at a show, and someone sent me a message and was like, hey, I had this tortoise shipped, and it looks like it's lost, and I don't know what to do. It was one of my customers, and I'm like, who'd they use? And they were like, I don't know. They just gave me a FedEx tracking number. So I walked over to Debbie, and I was like, Debbie, can you look this tracking number up to see if it's one of yours? She pulled it up. She goes, no, it's not one of mine. She's like, but let me make some phone calls.
Yeah.
And she called around. She found that person's tortoise. It had been sent to the wrong hub, got it redirected and handled. And it wasn't even her.
Yeah.
She didn't make a penny off of that. And that right there was enough for me to know that I will always. And that was really like the first time I met Debbie.
Yeah.
And, now I consider her and Drunk Bill to be good friends.
Old Drunk Bill.
Some of our favorite people.
Yeah. Hey, Todd Autry's here. I was just saying yesterday we need to have Todd on again.
Yeah.
It's been a couple of years almost now since we've had him on.
I've been doing this a while. That is true.
And because I think I'm about to be at year 2, or I'm about to be at my second anniversary.
You're not getting shit from me. I'm not giving you a present.
That's good. But yeah, I was just, he posted something about, I don't remember. I was thinking to myself, John and I were sitting there. Because, we went to the party Saturday night and everybody's out there being loud. And he and I found a side bedroom to go, or a side room.
I bet you
I
did.
wasn't being loud.
I bet you and John Grant did find a bedroom.
It was a living room and just sitting on separate. No, we're on the same couch.
They were on the same couch.
Cuddled on the same couch.
They were cuddled together.
It was cold in there. What can you say?
No, I was hanging out with John's wife. So
yeah.
So let's get back to the snake.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. All right. So you said VPI. Do y'all? I know I've seen some of your stuff because I looked at some of your Facebook stalks. Y'all have call stuff as well, right?
Yeah.
Do y'all do sharp?
We do not.
Okay. So between VPI and call, what's your favorite?
I like the VPI stuff because it's clean looking when you add other stuff to it.
Yeah.
Like when you add anery and blood. And, I think it looks a little bit better than call, but I have way more call stuff than I do VPI stuff.
So I'm a fan of call just because when I got into boas, sharp was super expensive and call was affordable. And I was like, I like it. That's what I got. And so my goal now is just to make super pretty, clean call stuff. That is my goal because, when I first got into boas, everybody talked about how, call gets ugly when it gets older and sharp stays pretty. And I'm like, well, that's because everybody bred all the ugly shit to call because it was cheap and you had a bunch of ugly fucking call stuff. But what really got me is when I went to go looking for male for my females. And I was like, all right, I want a hypo het albino or a hypo jungle het albino. And I'd go looking on Morph Market and I'd just look at the pictures and fucking VPI would get me every time. I'd be like, oh, that looks amazing. I'd pull it up and it was VPI. I was like, God damn it. That's not what I want.
Yeah.
But they do look so good, and they're really clean when you mix in like jungle and hypo with them.
I hope the call proves out on my girl this year.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
But the VPI we looked so why did I just forget his name? Y'all know him about VPI.
Dave.
I was just
from Eclectic Reptiles. He makes some amazing VPI stuff. He had it at
that's not the Dave I was talking about, but yes,
yeah, David.
It's also David.
Not Parker, but
yeah, it's Dave and David. Yeah.
He had some really pretty ones on his table last weekend as well.
Which didn't do me any good because I do call. I'm not switching. I refuse.
I can still
I'm staying.
Go down another line. I don't have to stay with call. That one was just
call.
given to me.
What do you have that's called, James?
Let's see what everything has got. So I've got a super sun glow that I produced that I've held back that hopefully breeds this year. I've got a jungle hypo supposed to be het call. I've got a big motley female that's supposed to be het call. I've got a call snow. I got 2 call snow females. One's an adult. And then I got brother and sister, not breeding them together, but brother and sister that are jungle, hypo jungle, het, call as well. So my goal is just sunglows. What I really want is sunglow stuff. Jungle sunglows. I like clean, weird ass pattern with really clean background, like cream background with pink sides. It's really what I'm trying to go for. And so I ordered like the best looking female that I could find at one point. And then after I got it, I palpated it. It had a little bump in there, and I realized it wasn't a female. But the people I got it from were amazing, and they sent me $100 back on it, and they said, "Look, if you want to ship it back," I said, "No, I want it. I love the color. I'm keeping it." And then out of nowhere, a year later, they sent me a message. They searched me out and said, "Hey, look, we did the pairing again. Here's a female. We'll do it for $100 off. Do you want the female?" I was like, "Well, fuck yeah, I want the female." So I have that, but they're a pair, but not a pair, because I'm not producing any damn sterile snakes when you do jungle to jungle. I'm not doing it or fuse.
Yeah.
Because I know with my luck, I will produce them, and the best looking one will be sterile and they'll do me no good, and I'll just be pissed off that I have to sell it as a pet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
And Jason Miloradovich said call albinos have come a long way since then. Some breeders like Tom Burke really worked to refine them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have a couple really nice, like the lipstick line calls, and they're super crisp and like white, and then the orange color for the albino. So,
I mean, I remember the ugly calls. They lost all that red in the tails. They got older, but again, they were breeding them to anything and everything back in the day just to get albinos. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot now that have been bred well that keep that red as adults, and it's not just sharps that keep the red now. And so that is my goal. Is I like that, but the VPI stuff does get me. I think at some point I'm going to have to get IMG.
Oh, I'm going to have to.
Yeah.
Only because IMG sunglows are freaking amazing.
Yeah.
You get one, and I'll get one.
You have an IMG sunglow?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have an IMG sunglow jungle male.
Oh.
Yes.
He's on our Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go Instagram stalking now.
I'm gonna have to do that too. Yeah, they just that solid red background you get with those guys, and it's just, they're just so pretty. Because I'm not a. Go ahead.
The IMG is great.
I'm not a huge fan. See, I'm weird. I'm not a huge fan of dark snakes, so the IMG doesn't do much for me. Especially the IMG as it goes from baby to black.
Yeah.
It definitely doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
But when I mix it in with albino and all that, I'm like, oh man, that's awesome looking. I'll do that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like we have an IMG snow that we're gonna produce or breed with, not this year, but the following year. And she's gotten like white and yellow as she gets older. Like part of her gets a yellowish color. So she's really cool.
Say an IMG snow, is that gonna like is the pattern gonna fade out over time, or is it?
She has almost no pattern except as she's gotten older and she sheds you actually start to see the pattern come back into her, because that seems to be the part that darkens up.
Oh, that's cool.
Apparently you guys already followed me and I had never followed you back, but now I do.
What a jerk face.
No worries.
So retic stuff. What are you doing with retics? Because that's a lot of snake.
Just collecting them, actually. Just kind of. We just sold our biggest one to a friend of ours who owns a reptile shop here in town, and then we just have a couple smaller, like 10 to 12 foot females, and then we have one super dwarf that's like 5 feet long.
He's little.
Yeah.
I sold a guy 2 4-foot cages this weekend.
For retic?
You didn't see my new 4x2x2s.
No.
8-inch litter dam with my logo carved on the front and a basking shelf in it. But he bought it for 2 super dwarfs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, super dwarf. Okay, that is nice though. Basking shelf in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Fancy.
Yeah, you'll see them next weekend. I'm gonna bring them next weekend at Conroe.
Oh, here we go.
They look.
Is Conroe that soon?
It's next weekend.
Oh fuck.
We have one weekend off.
one
We have 3 shows in a row,
yeah.
1 weekend off, 3 shows in a row.
Oh shit.
Well, I'm gonna get lost in all the pictures.
Well, you're not going to New Orleans.
I'm not going to New Orleans, but I am now. I'm now looking at your Instagram, and it's fucking VPI. God,
You've got a really cute dog too.
Oh, thank you. And her little onesie, that one.
He's like, the one that's got the blue shirt on.
She got spayed yesterday, so it keeps her from eating at her stitches.
That's cool. She's cute.
Douglas Ray White says he has no idea what we're talking about. That's okay, Doug. Neither do we.
It's a great name.
I love Douglas.
I just say words. I just throw like call. sharps out every once in a while when I'm talking to boa people.
So I guess let me go ahead and go break down that since we are talking boas. There are 3 albinos in boas.
Mm-hmm.
There is Call and Sharp, and I want to say they're T negative, but then Travis will yell at me and say, well, technically one is probably that. They both look the way you think albinos look. They just can't breed together. So they are white and red.
If you breed them together, you just
get normals that are het for both.
Yeah.
Which would suck.
Yeah.
Which a buddy of ours had.
Right.
And they all came out normal.
Yes.
And then there's the VPI, which is what you would normally call in the ball pythons was the T positive albino or caramel or whatever that.
Mm-hmm.
Which is one as an albino on its own, it doesn't really do anything for me because I like the bright reds and yellows. With what I'm at is the VPI stuff. When you mix it into other stuff, does look amazing, like y'all said.
Yeah.
That's when I.
And is albino? I guess so. If they're het, it's a recessive, just like
It's all recessive.
Everything else. Okay.
Yes. And like I said, none of them work together.
Right. I knew that. It's like lavender albino and ball pythons.
Yeah. Or in Samboas, we have albino and we have paradox albino, and the two don't work together.
Yeah. I did not know that.
People have bred them and gotten together, like visuals of them, but it's a pain in the butt.
So what are we trying to produce with my female again this year?
So you have a motley het call.
Het call. Mm-hmm.
All right. And then I've got what male is going to breed to her? Oh, I've got a super sunglow. So we will get sunglow motleys is the goal.
Got it.
Jason says more than 3. Don't forget the boa woman caramel.
Yep.
Plus,
yeah, I'm not going into Central American shit, Jason. I'm not doing that. Locale specific stuff.
The boa woman caramel lies on the same allele as sharp. So that's how you get a paradigm boa. If you ever see
I remember those. Yeah, I haven't seen one
Never
of
even heard of that.
The problem is
either.
breed them together, and then half of them are sharp and half of them are boa woman caramel.
They're weird looking.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't go, hey, that's an albino.
Boa woman caramel.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna.
Yeah, if you look up a paradigm boa, it's
paradigm boa.
Yeah, it's like I said, you wouldn't go, that's albino.
No.
But it is an interesting looking one. But then so the question, let's get to the question we asked this week, and then we can kind of get into more of this. But we asked, do you prefer morphs or localities? And we didn't specify boas, but I did post it on a boa page and some other pages. But it was, do you prefer morphs or localities and why? So I'm going to go through several of these and then we can discuss it. And then I can tell Jason Miloradovich why he's wrong.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that.
What is Darren? Darren, why are you talking about ball pythons in the chat? What is, have you not watched this podcast? We don't do ball pythons. They're not even real snakes. All right. Will McReady said localities. Will likes them. He admits he's a sucker for exanthic morphs and bulls, but his love for reptiles started with wildlife and love for natural variation that occurs in the wild. With as much land development and habitat loss that occurs, people keeping locality-specific animals are the only thing keeping these animals looking mostly the same for future generations, especially with colubrids, where you have a lot of hybrid crap going on that sneaks into the gene pool. Yes, I'm aware of genetic drift and other fallacies in this logic, but you get the general idea. Yeah, king snakes are the worst.
We need to have Will on.
But king snakes are the worst. When you go to buy a king snake, you really have to trust who you're buying it from if it's a locality thing. I've seen that pop up all the time on groups of is this a whatever locality? And people are like, maybe. Do you trust the person you bought it from?
Well, that's like gray band king snakes.
I was like,
you're talking about. We have one that's
Langtree.
She's a Langtree.
Maybe.
Allegedly. I mean, we showed her to a couple of people who are in the know, and they both agree that, yeah, that looks like what they look like in that 1 mile stretch.
Yeah. next to that rock.
Because they are
in the shadow of that cactus.
They are pretty specific the way the Langtrees look. But there are, I mean, you'll talk to these guys with the gray bands. They're like, oh, that's from mile marker 62 on rural route 8, or whatever. And
that just doesn't seem fun to me at that point.
I mean, they love it.
But look, that's one thing I like about this question reading it is, especially with boas, they lead their way to, you can really, there's so many different directions you can go in and across the hobby in general.
Mm-hmm.
King snakes are one. You get into the Florida kings and some of the blotched kings where they all kind of look the same, especially if you have to mix them. What?
I need to go get that king snake.
What king snake?
Remember I sent y'all a picture a couple weeks ago? That guy said he wanted to give me a king snake.
Oh yeah.
I need to go get that thing from him.
Paul.
Yeah.
Our buddy Drew Schultz over at the Learning Zoo said localities normally, but I can definitely appreciate some morphs. He's also an exanthic person. Xanth is one of my favorite in most species, and melanistic reptiles are almost always cool looking. And see, it's wasted on me because I don't like dark snakes. but that's me. Here's Jason Miller.
Why?
So let me go. Why don't I like them?
Is there a specific reason?
I like color. Like that's why I love red tails. That's why I think the dumbest morph in red tails is Anery. The dumbest fucking morph in red tails. Like you took everything out of it and went
everything we like.
Now it's just a boa. Like it's ugly and it has no color and it's not even like a cool Anery. Like sand boas are black and white. That's a cool Anery. Mm-hmm. The boa constrictors, and then when they get older, they just kind of I don't know. They're not good looking to me.
They look brown when they get old. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's kind of the curse. Like if you want to produce snows, you gotta be careful with what you're breeding, or else you're gonna produce some Aneries. And I don't want to produce Aneries.
Gotcha.
Just a gray boa.
It is. It starts out gray, and I guess it's kind of cool if it's super clean and gray, but it's not gonna stay that cool looking in a year, and it's definitely not gonna be that cool looking in 5 years.
Gotcha.
So it's a great way to get to stuff. That's why you don't see a ton of Anery stuff anymore. They used to see like Anery was pretty big because it was one of the few morphs, and you saw a lot of ghost stuff. But now everybody's like, oh, well, I can get IMG if I want a black snake. So why would I get this snake that's going to turn brown when I can get the snake that's going to turn black? Mm-hmm. And IMG's become a way bigger thing. Which is
why I want IMG, because it does turn black.
Well, that was the whole
reason. If you want to get rid of all the ball pythons and go to boas, I'm cool with that.
I'm cool with
you just want to get boas also on top of the ball pythons.
I'm the one that does it. Why does it matter to you?
Good point.
Well, then, so
don't ever ask Robert what we have in our snake room. He can't tell you it.
Snakes.
Exactly.
The one good thing about IMG's coming along, it got rid of the people going, you know what? Maybe I can produce a super motley that will survive. And you fucking can't. You just fucking can't. And everybody's like, I can do it. And like, see, it's living. It's 2 years old and it's great. All right, get back to me in a year. Yep. And try and breed it.
That happened by accident. The mom threw 2 motley genes into her baby.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and the baby came out totally in a circle, just deformed. Her spine was curved to a circle. Total black eyes. She was alive. She was just not gonna live.
Because you didn't breed it. You didn't breed it the right way. If you'd done it the right way, you could have had one that survived.
Hey, speaking of that, that Slowinski corn snake with the kink in its neck.
Yeah,
China got it to eat.
Really?
Yeah.
Still really fucking kinky.
Hey.
It's not kinky in the good kind of way.
Right. Hey, if she can make it survive and she's happy with it, whatever.
That snake can go left, right, and up and down all at the same time.
It's just one kink. It just happens to be right in its neck.
It
just happens to be a 90-degree angle.
It's a 90-degree angle.
She got it to eat, and she said it ate like a micro small pinky, like a newborn pinky.
Yeah.
And got it
down.
Got it past the kink. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's just enough neck in front of the kink that it can get it down and that it can make that turn in the kink. And
yeah, because there's a little bit of a space between the back of the head and the neck.
Yeah. See how it's doing in a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey,
even a couple weeks. I mean,
it was a free snake to me and a free snake to her. So.
That is true. But anyways, back to the question. I was going to read Jason Miloradovich just so I could tell him how he was wrong. Jason said, similar to other replies, I'm kind of split. Most of my Rosy Boa projects, I'm leaning towards morphs, whereas I started with localities, but with my boas, I'm getting more excited about localities, although I also really like the idea of locality-specific morph projects. So you're all over the fucking place. And as you know, I currently have some rubber boas with provenance. Why are you using big-ass words? Just say you know where they're from. Provenance to specific areas, locality-specific rubbers is definitely something I'd like to expand on. Which I can't really complain because I have some that are locality specific too.
Yeah, I've seen some that are like that bright, like copper.
So some of them, when they get older,
some are like dirt brown, and
so some of them change color. Some of them turn kind of like that green color when they get older. Some of them turn that browner color. They kind of stay the same browner color they are when they're younger. It just all depends. So it's locale is a lot of it too. But
I haven't seen yours probably since we put them in the thing.
I posted a picture of mine on Instagram.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I've seen of them since.
Yeah, we're at the show Sunday, and James is sending us picture after picture, and I'm like, I know what James is doing today.
I think I'm
wishing he was at the show with us.
I'm going to try and put out a picture every 2 to 3 days on Instagram to keep my Instagram somewhat relevant. I was like, I've got enough animals at my house that I could do it. I just don't ever take pictures of shit. And I was like, let's start with the stuff that doesn't try to eat me. So this
is way better. Me not having my laptop.
Yeah.
I'm not bringing it anymore.
So I went with the rubbers. I say not try to eat me. We did try the Brazilian horn frog, which is the picture I'm going to post, I think, tomorrow. It was not happy.
Really?
It was not happy. But
the picture came out good.
Yeah, the picture came out good. I liked it. But it did not enjoy the photo shoot. So
you like the photo shoot.
But with Jason talking about rosies, that was one reason I could never get in. I have a pair of Mexican rosies and 2 of their offspring from different years. And that's it for my rosies because I can't do locale. Like that is there. I've said it before. The rosy people are almost as bad as the gray band people when it comes to locales. And I don't have the patience. Like, what kind of locale stuff do y'all do? Any?
Aside from the Argentines, the only other thing we're really messing with is we have a female scrub python that we're trying to find a male for, but same thing is trying to deal with the locality. And she's a import, so who knows where she actually came from.
Yeah.
It's just all based on what she looks like, you know?
And what port she got shipped out of, which may not be anywhere near where she got picked up out of.
What side of the mountain she came from.
Yeah.
And so boas, locale boas don't do it for me. I know Warren Booth is never going to listen to this, so he's not bitching at me at all. But Warren is big into the locale boas, and I'm like, one, they're not as clean and pretty as I like boas, which is why morphs work for me. Because locale boas to me are they're very patterned. At all of them, they're very speckly and patterned, and I think a lot of locale stuff for some people comes down to story. I think a lot of people like the story of where it came from and how and where it lives and the small little area they're found in and that stuff. But the one positive for locale boas is that a lot of them are small.
Yeah, definitely.
And so if someone wants to get into boas, they're a manageable size. Even though I think Colombians are a manageable size as long as you don't power feed the shit out of your Colombian. Yeah. But so going through these, let's see. Scott Wright said localities. He got into reptiles because of wildlife. Morphs just don't remind him of nature. He says it's the same way a Pomeranian doesn't remind him of a wolf.
I read that one. That was funny.
I get that. Danielle Cruz says depends on the species, which I agree on, and I'll go more on that one a little bit. I agree on that one. Michael Stringer says he likes morphs, some more than others, but I prefer locality boas more. The reason is I like the classics. I like the pattern. See, that's kind of why I don't like them. But plus they're disappearing from the hobby as everyone wants to stick with the morph. See, I don't think they're just. I think locality boas are becoming far more popular now than they used to be.
Yeah, it depends on I guess I was listening. Warren has a podcast that he's doing about boas.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys have heard it, but
yeah, boas.
Yeah, he was talking about people who get red tails. They think that they can, or not the true ones. They think that they can get them to breed in 4 or 5 years, and it's like a 6 to 8 year project, and then you get bored with it and get out of it.
Well, and they used to for everything that's a locale now. It used to be Central American boas. Mm-hmm. It was just. If it came from between Mexico and Colombia, it's a Central American boa.
Yep.
And then we realized, oh, wait, there's a whole bunch of shit in between there in different locales, and they look different. And then you have all the islands and the island boas. I love hog islands. A super clean hog island is amazing. And I hate when they mix them with Colombian hypos because I can't stand sunset boas. Just give me a really pretty, all freckly hog island. Those things are amazing. Mm-hmm. Plus, they change color from night to day, which is just really cool.
Really?
Yeah. They go so you can have them bright orange, except for when you want to show them to somebody.
Of course.
They look like shit.
See, what you need is one of Carl's gecko displays.
That's
bigger
true.
For a
just
snake.
hide them at night. Yeah. Yep. Or hide them in the box. Go, look, here's what it looks like, and then close it.
Yeah.
What's a look? Wait.
Jason's calling you out.
Fuck you, Miller Average.
And Ashley Howdy said, Ashley with Focus Cube said, enjoying the photo shoot is all for the keeper. Haha.
Yeah, and Jason Miloradovich just called James out saying that the boas he's talking about are a locality, and so James just proved him right.
Yeah. But they're not Central American localities, so fuck off. They're on an island, and I like them. Leave me alone. Well, so what gets me, and I refuse to change, and it upsets people. I think it upsets newer people than older people. But I refuse to stop calling Colombians red tails. I grew up when we had red tails and we had true red tails, and we all knew what the hell we were talking about when we said it. We knew what the true red tails were. Suriname.
So what are you supposed to call them now?
Normal boas or common boas? Common boas.
So who's the gatekeeper for that?
It's a common name. There's no fucking gatekeeper. It's a common name.
Yeah, Warren.
Well, okay.
Fuck you, Warren. He's not going to get us anyway. It's fine.
He might. We were surprised the one time when we were talking about him, and he chimed in our.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Warren. I'm going to message Warren. They're talking about
in our. And I was like, "Hey, Warren's in the chat."
But I can't do it. I can't. Look, people are like, they do that. I'm like, it has a red tail. I've got plenty of Colombians with. It's red. I don't know what to tell you. It's not like purpley red like a Guyanan, but it's red, and it's on the tail. And it's a common name. I don't know what to tell you. So
yeah, I mean 1 + 1 is 3. I mean 2.
But I've always wanted to get the true red tails. I've always either wanted to get a Suriname or Ghan. I really love Peruvians, really clean Peruvians, because they turn yellow when they get older. So like Argentines are cool because they get massive. Like that's a huge snake. And like if you can get them where they really turn dark, that's the ones that Tracy has.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that went the opposite direction of what I liked because they got so dark.
Mm-hmm.
But if you like a big dark snake, that's the way. I mean, those are amazing looking snakes.
Yeah.
How much pattern do y'all have now as adults?
A pretty good amount. That one of them looks almost. It reminds me a lot of like a motley boa, like circular pattern. And then the male's like a dark black and white, and the female's more like a brown and white.
Yeah, like I said, they're a cool snake. I don't know. Something about Colombians. I love the morphs, and I'm a weird morph person where it's fun to play with it. But it's harder to play morphs with boas because like with ball pythons and sand boas, you can fit them into smaller things. So if you're trying to work towards something, that's fine. You can keep a few more of this to work towards it. Yeah. But if you're doing boas, like I can't keep a few more females. That's a minimum 4-foot cage I have to add to everything else.
Yeah.
Yep.
How big of a cage are you keeping your boas in?
Our breeder females are in 4-foot cages.
Yeah, that's what I do. 4-foot.
We have 3 bedrooms dedicated to our animals, and then we have a separate quarantine bedroom also.
Yeah, my quarantine is closet. I've got to set up my
game room.
I got to set up my Samboa in my closet at some point.
Well, we have no kids, so.
I'd say it's cheaper to not have kids.
It is.
Yeah, luckily we've got one that's an adult, so she's got her own job.
Kicked her ass out.
Yeah, she lives with her girlfriend, and then our son at home is 12, and he loves the snakes, so they're all over the place, and he didn't care.
So now I'm just going through.
I've got big 4-foot cages in my dining room, behind my dining room table. Like, so if you come eat at my house, you have to sit with my big snakes.
All right, so I'm looking at your Instagram, and you have a hypo jungle het snow with like super reduced pattern.
Yeah,
that thing is awesome looking.
It's very pretty.
I'm assuming that's a holdback, or at least you bought it, or it's a future plan.
Yeah, it's one of the holdbacks.
I'm the one who has to name them in order to know what they look like. So I have names for all of them because then I can picture what they look like in my head.
Well, you didn't put a name on it, so I can't tell you the name.
Yeah, my motley, her name is Hermione.
I don't name anything. See, look, this is Rachel. Here's a picture of Baby Goo. This is what you have to look forward to.
Oh yeah, is that my Argentine Baby Goo? Because that is a lot.
No, this is Sun Glow Motley to a Ghost Jungle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's the mom who threw the double Motley.
Oh really?
In that pairing. Actually.
In that pairing, yeah.
Yeah, all that goo. It's fun.
It's not that big of a deal.
It's not that bad.
No.
You'd hear Owen McIntyre over on NPR talking about how it smells bad. I'm like, nah, not really.
No.
I mean, from Miloradovich, you may have. He let it sit for a week and a half. That probably didn't smell great.
No, the biggest problem is getting the mom out before she gets out of her like little trance that they go in. Then she gets super aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I had a mom that stayed aggressive after she had the babies. Like she was fine before having babies. And then afterwards, she's like, no, I'm just going to be a bitch from now on.
So Hermione's a bitch already.
Then it won't change for you. She can't get double bitch.
No, I mean, she's like in her enclosure. She's really, really constantly striking all the time. It never fails. I don't know what her issue is. She's finally stopped doing it as often. And I'm kind of like, I was wondering what was going to happen after we bred her. If it was going to be.
I've got a Snow downstairs who's not that happy. If you want to clean her cage, she decided to spill her water this morning, and I haven't had a chance to get in there and change it.
Yeah, you've got to come over and help me with mine too.
Oh shit! Okay.
We got to get her out and clean.
No, I'm good. Jason Miller said the pink Argentines hold a ton of color. That's true. The pink Argentines do hold a ton of color, and they get very pretty.
Are they actually pink?
Yeah, they've got pinks that come through on the background color.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're pretty.
I've seen it. They're really cool.
Yeah, I was just saying.
Look up pink Argentine boas.
Yeah.
I was like, my motley has a lot of pink down their sides.
Yeah, look up the Max Pink Argentine boas because they're like line bred for that.
Oh my god, I'm just watching my fucking bank account.
Ashley
Stop
Howdy,
telling her to look things up, please.
Ashley Howdy's answer to our question was it depends. She says locality for green trees and other species where the genetic traits are not predictable. Morphs for crested geckos, since they only have one locality and because she breeds crested geckos.
Oh god.
Are you looking at?
That's not good.
Yeah.
And then she said more locality for monitors, since, for example, the xanthic trait morph is more of a locality trait. Even though it's a morph trait, it's a morph trait to a locality.
Officially worst guests ever. They need to go.
These are pretty. Yeah.
Hey, do you guys have any of those for sale? Because if so, I'm really cutting y'all off now because that just shows me what's going on here.
No, we had some babies that showed but then they started to lose their pink, except for one. She's kept it, which is weird.
Let me see, Rich.
Her dad was in a Max Pink line.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
they're crazy.
How the hell does an animal even have that kind of color on it? You know?
Especially in Argentine, that's black and
Right.
Yes, the Argentines are known for getting dark. So.
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So Brittany Patchett
But
said
it has Max in it. That just makes me think about Max.
but it's double X.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't have to think about
I
Max.
prefer triple X myself, but
I mean,
so Brittany Patchett said localities. When I see morphs, I assume they have potential genetic issues. It depends on the morph. I mean, there's many morphs that are perfectly fine health wise, especially things that have been bred for a long time. There are some though. You do obviously, like we've talked a few motleys and boas. You can't get a super. Well, you can get a super form and it's solid black, but it will not be healthy and it will probably die fairly young and have issues where its digestive system kind of shuts down on it. Jungles, it's the males that are sterile, right? Super jungles. Yeah, so you can breed jungle, and you can get them and they're healthy and they'll live fine, but the males are sterile. So if you're lucky to be the prettiest one in the entire litter,
of course. Well, yeah, that's like when people have they'll have like 6 eggs from ball python and one of them won't make it and they'll cut it open and that's the one that hit all the genes.
Yeah.
Don't cut that shit. Don't just
speaking of Brittany Patchett, she so I made this German Shepherd dog sign this weekend and we had everybody sign it with a paint pen for Lana. And Sean wrote like, "This is bullshit," and Callie Grant drew some boobs on it, and Brittany Patchett wrote, "You'll be back," and she was gonna write, "You've only known him for 6 months," but decided. I told her, let's not write that second part on there.
Well, and then Lily,
I freaking love her. Oh, Lily writes, "I've really enjoyed our adventures," and everybody read it. Was like, we were laughing until we read that. Now we're all crying. There, so it's 2 vendors. They're best friends.
Have been forever.
Lovers, whatever you say, friends,
whatever.
lovers.
And one of them met a guy and is moving to Indiana.
It doesn't matter. It's Yankees. They're not real people.
This weekend. So she, this was her last show this last weekend.
Yeah. So she's dead to us. She doesn't exist.
Yeah.
She exists to me. I will continuously check up on her. And
make she got a new phone number and texted all y'all her new number, but not.
She has a new number.
So
I didn't get it.
Well, she texted her and Katie.
Oh, I got it.
That's a bullshit.
Right. Yeah.
Fuck her.
We text a lot.
So I want to read some of these are the responses from the BOA group. I posted this question in the BOA group so I can get locality or morphs. One person just said yes. So they'll obviously take anything, which is fine. Let's see, Noah Borthen said, locality is definitely for me. Morphs are neat, but I'm a bit of a geography nerd and really enjoy learning about how the different environments have shaped the evolution of the different localities, which again, I go back to, I think a lot of locality people enjoy the story, which fits that. They enjoy the story of that whole idea. Malcolm Parker says localities more closely relate to size and therefore care requirements. So I would have to say I'm more likely to shop boas by morph rather than locality. I can find lots of BCI morphs and know basically what I am in for, as opposed to having Sonorans, Surinams, Crawlcays. Crawlcays are pretty. And Argentines all over the scale in terms of size. That's true, but I mean, if you're buying a boa constrictor versus a boa imperator, that it's gonna be bigger. Like that's, that. So, I mean, I get it, but okay. Heather Treester said, I prefer localities, but I also own a morph as well. There are just so many beautiful boas. I don't know how you just own one, but okay. Good luck with that. Andrew Tanner said, both are great. Locales are amazing, but I have to be so careful you don't buy something labeled as something and then find out it's not.
Yep.
Yeah, that happens. I love morphs because other than figuring out hets, the morphs can be identified by other keepers. Locales can also, but it takes a good eye to pick out details. Morphs are what I love the most, but some locales are a dream to own one day. And then Patrick Gore said, I have locality and morph. And Orion Meister said, morphs. I love the paint jobs. I'm definitely a morph person. I'm a morph person. I said it's far more fun to me.
So Samantha DeMarco in the chat said that some of the best BCOs I've seen produced come from them.
Yeah.
And then she also said, for you guys, what is your favorite project that you're working towards?
That new labyrinth project.
I don't know if you get it's on our reel, but it's a hypo labyrinth Key West jungle that's het for blood and anery. So it works. It's that demon project, but that animal is one of the cleanest animals I've ever seen for boas.
Is it the most recent one on the reel?
Yeah, I think it's the most recent.
Either that or you'll see my tortoise in the rain.
Oh yeah, it's this future project. Oh fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I think it almost looks purple.
Oh, yeah, this
That is gorgeous.
It's got a chromosome right in the back. Like let's say the X.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool looking.
Mhm.
This
I love
one?
that.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw the exit. That's
That is
crazy.
super
See, it's clean. I fucking love hypo and jungle and clean. Like it. Oh,
All of our clean snakes come from Chaz over at Low Key Boas.
Yeah.
He is amazing.
and that's call or VPI.
That one is actually neither. That is
Oh wow.
blood and anery. Since I know you hate anery, but
Fucking Anna. I'm just kidding.
yeah,
So will it maintain the color it is, or is it gonna?
it actually will get more pink as they like get older.
Yeah, it's not het blood. It is blood, right?
It's het blood. No,
It's
no,
het
no.
blood.
Yeah, that one's dual het. It's just the labyrinth gene really adds like the pink to that whole animal. Yeah.
So what is the future pairing to that one that you have in mind?
So this year we're doing a hypo blood to a ghost to get another het, and then we're gonna put them together. And the ultimate goal is they have like a crystal, which is a hypo or a dual, like a super labyrinth, and they come out with blue eyes and try to make it with like a gray bluish boa at the same time.
Ooh,
Wow.
That's cool.
I
Yeah,
can't wait.
yeah.
That's
a lot.
interesting.
Definitely know.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm gonna have to watch that project.
Call us in 4, 5, 6 years.
Yeah.
You know what? That's how it works.
Well, that's the problem. Like with boa projects done correctly, they take a while.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, she's a female, so she's gonna take at least 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Which
not
is
that's
good.
not what
I
ball python people
Don't
told me.
have any more room for big boas right now. I'm kind of out of space.
You may, and that's gonna sound weird, have too many doom rolls.
I do not. I have 8. That's plenty. That's
And then when she has 40 babies,
they'll be in a hatchling rack and
I'll
we'll
be happy
sell them
because
very quickly.
those fucking snakes can pay for their own
You
food.
probably have more doom rolls. I want to say than anybody because there's definitely somebody out there, but 8 is a shit ton of doom rolls for someone to have.
Mhm.
I mean, it's females to go every year.
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah.
females you hope go every year.
Right.
No, they're going to. We're going to speak it into existence.
I would say we had to give my Argentine 2 years off because she just didn't put the weight back on. So.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Well-
another thing that egg people don't understand versus live bird. Like, you
Right.
don't really want to breed live brothers every year because it takes so much. They're carrying for 6 months in some cases, and it takes so much out, and they look like shit by the time they give birth.
Mhm.
Yeah.
James Bergoli says he'll take a couple of your babies, which I think
He's on the list of people who I've been told to notify if I have babies or when
Not
I have
if.
babies. Excuse me, when they are born.
But yeah, they're so rough on live bears to have babies back to back. You'll see people that try to breed boas every year. I'm like, that's just crazy. Now, the one thing I do love about boas, I don't know about if you've had this, but I can feed mine through their entire pregnancy. Really small meals, but I can keep weight on them through the entire pregnancy.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas, like, if you have a python, it's not touching anything while it's gravid.
So that's not true.
I had a carpet, it would not go near shit. And I had a carpet that would eat nonstop. But as soon as it became gravid, was not touching
I
anything.
had a ball python that ate.
Ball pythons are stupid. They're not real snakes.
I mean, she gave me babies and she's doing fine
Where'd you
still.
have
So.
But do y'all try and feed y'all's during the pregnancy at least a little bit?
Yes.
Yeah. Up until the last 6 weeks, and then we
Yeah.
stopped.
Yeah, I have found that it helps with recovery. They don't lose as much weight, and I've found that my litters tend to be pretty good. I don't tend to have a lot of stillborns, and I have pretty big healthy litters. And I don't know if it's because they're being fed or because they're healthy boas, but
So when you're feeding them when they're gravid, are you just doing like a large instead of a
no,
jumbo?
I'm doing like
or
small rat.
A small rat.
Yeah, like,
Okay.
it's like a snack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A
I
lot
was curious.
every
Okay.
weeks.
Yeah, I don't want any lumps.
Okay.
I don't want anything
Nice.
to have to like when they're digesting it. I don't want any pressure pushing against
Yeah.
the babies, and so like a big rat will do that. Plus, big meals take a lot on them. We've talked about them before. When snakes digest, the entire snake internally grows. Like their heart gets bigger, their intestine, their body gets bigger on the inside to do it. And it's a lot of stress on them. So those people that power feed their shit, their animal never goes through the resting phase of their heart shrinking back down to normal resting size, and all their organs shrinking back down to normal function size.
And so that's what kills them.
That's why they die so early, because their body's running full speed all the time.
Jason said that his Sharp Sunglow Leopard project took like 10 years to see a visual.
Yep.
Next addition into that project will be blood boas. I don't know what a blood boa is.
It's Nicaraguan blood. Am I correct? Am I correct? I
think a lot of them are from Nicaragua. There's a lot of stuff that comes from Nicaraguan, but
they give you a really good red background color.
No.
The reason I don't like just regular bloods is like, again, it's a very busy pattern animal, but you mix them into like some hypo and some jungle.
He said El Salvador.
So you clean up some of that background, and especially when you mix it into like sun glow stuff, it turns, is it a red dragon? I think is a sun glow blood.
The sun dragon is the sun glow version of it, and then a red dragon is just a albino blood.
Look up red dragon boa or a sun dragon boa. And you're going to see why that's where mixing blood to me comes in super. It's also the reason I like mixing. I want to do IMG one day, because IMG gives you that awesome background color too.
Shit.
Yeah, it's fucking red.
You want to hand it to me?
You don't want her.
No, you don't want to.
I absolutely don't.
I got my own phone.
And then the other one was what? Sun dragon?
Sun dragon.
Well, that's the one I just looked
Red
at.
dragon. That's just the regular albino. So you're seeing the hypo albino.
Wow.
So who was it that used to be the one that's big in ball pythons now, but used to do boas? Why can I not think? I'm in Florida. He's a big ball python person. It's God damn it.
Yeah, I'm gonna need.
I don't think it's his name.
No, it's not his name. But his business name even is like
Ozzy?
Ozzy.
He's not in Florida.
He's not in Florida?
Yeah, that's what's
Is it north?
I think he's in like
Maryland. He mean Maryland.
Yeah, I think he's up in like Maryland.
Yeah.
But I want to say he used to do a lot of that. Well, now he's fucking ball pythons, but he used to do a lot of stuff, and it was really cool when he was a boa person before he was a ball python person.
And what was the other one called?
Which one did you look?
Red dragon.
Red dragon.
Sun dragon.
Sun dragon.
That's the one I like, was the sun dragon.
They're pretty.
Do you guys know Jason Miloradovich?
Yeah, I'm gonna need
I
some.
think so, huh?
Yeah,
I know
you should.
of him, but I've
You
never
should.
met
I mean, you guys. Yeah. I mean, he's in Colorado. We keep. So his wife and his kids are convinced to move to Texas. Just Jason hasn't.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
Darren says muscle sober. I know. What's his name? Bodybuilder that does them. He has that stuff, but no, this was before he got into boas. Back in early 2000s, there was someone who was doing. They really started doing the red dragon stuff. I remember seeing them. Or not the red dragon, but the blood stuff. But again, the early,
Ron St. Pierre did a lot of stuff with bloods, but he does like monitors and tegus and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
In Florida.
Hey, the Daxton Taylor.
Jackson Taylor.
Look,
Being that it says, yo, I'm going to guess that's Dax.
Probably Dax.
Yeah.
Retic people.
They walk up to me on Sunday wearing fucking Yankees jerseys with their names on the back. I'm like, get away from my table before y'all get some shit on it.
Fucking Yankees. It's all right. The Braves won a World Series last year. So.
They did against my team. So
Go Braves. All right. So back to boas, because I love boas.
mm-hmm.
So you're working towards this. What is your project for next year? You said you didn't hit what you wanted to this year, and this really amazing one on Instagram won't be ready next year.
No. So we're doing some IMG stuff. We're doing IMG with ghost jungles, so we'll have sorry, and then a bunch of actual call stuff this year. Yeah, we have some like a Sunglow jungle, that lipstick line to a motley, and then some arabesque stuff that we're going to try messing with this year, and then some mixing blood boas into some other projects.
I haven't seen arabesque stuff in a while.
They're pretty cool. I mean, they're just
Speckly.
yeah, they're pretty.
It's a lot of pattern. Yeah,
a lot of pattern.
That was one of the reasons I never really went towards that. Like if I was ever going to do something, Ladder Tail was one I really liked because that was kind of clean and gave you a pretty cool looking tail. Ashley Howdy, yes, Palumbo. It's Dave Palumbo, muscle.
I don't know what that means.
What?
What's a Palumbo?
Dave Palumbo is he's a breeder.
Okay.
Well, he was a famous.
It was another fucking line of boas.
He was a famous
man.
bodybuilder, and then he took all his money and bought snakes.
Gotcha.
Jason Miller, I do hate on speckled boas. I can't help it. I don't. But that's the thing about boas. Like, there's a million ways you can go, and there's some that love pattern, whereas I want to go in the opposite direction, and I want to really fuck up the pattern but make it clean.
I'm kind of with
You guys talking to the microphone?
I said I'm kind of with you on that. Sorry, I was leaning over. I don't mind a little bit of speckles, but I do think they can get over speckled.
I like them in Hog Islands just because they have freckles and it's cool looking. But I don't like a super busy pattern in Colombians just because I know that you can get super reds and pinks, and I want to be able to see that shine through.
Yeah.
And they get muted when you have a lot of pattern in there.
Well, also the most boas I've been around have been yours.
Yeah,
I
which
might
are
be a
all-
little biased.
Which are all super clean and light stuff.
They're
I
all
don't-
really pretty though.
Yeah, the worst is the motley, but I got that because it was a giant female motley. And
Hey, the good thing about light ones is you can see the mites when they get them.
fuck you.
Fuck off.
Fuck you.
I can say that because I didn't have to deal with them. They both did.
I don't have mites anymore.
Neither do I.
Fucking moved to Texas. That's what it was. I never had mites until I moved to this goddamn state.
Yep. I still don't know how we got them.
They had to have
been
come in
a
from a show.
yeah.
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 Awesome foliage.
So Miller Ravage, he did. He sent me a picture of his fully striped het leopard, and I was like, it's got speckles. It's fine.
Like I haven't seen that. So.
But again, everybody's allowed to like what they want, but everybody should like what I like. That's the rules.
So full of shit.
But going back to some of these answers where they said the locales depend, or locale or more of it depends on the species, you would agree with that because you
Mhm.
like speckled kings.
Yep.
You like speckled kings from here.
Yes.
Now, is it because you think they look the best, or because there's a home feeling to this is where
No.
they're from?
I think the Harris County speckled kings are the best. They have the most yellows and
I agree. I posted a picture of that like 5 days ago. and-
right.
Yeah.
They just look so much. Now I did see one that someone caught in St. Tammany Parish.
Yeah.
Over the weekend. That was I like sent them a message. Was like, hey, what did you do with that snake? They're like, oh, we let it go. I was like, damn.
I posted a picture of my my king on a king snake group, and someone was like, "What locale is that?" And I was like, "It's Harris County." Like, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's solid yellow belly. It's bright yellow. It's super pretty.
I wish I would have had the money to buy everything that he had when he was selling all his speckles, when Jim was selling all his speckles.
Oh man, he had the best looking speckled.
He did tell me this weekend that he's been listening to the show
Really?
and that he listened to the one with Dr. Seidel,
That's
Hannah
good.
Seidel, and then I was telling him about rare genetics, and he's like, well, what episode is that? I was like, I don't know.
I
I
don't
then looked it up and went back and told him it was like 73 or something.
It's funny hearing. So you'll hear Jim's name pop up on other podcasts because he's big for the people know that he has blackheads and he's been doing it for a long time. So you'll hear Split Rock Reptiles, but like I really liked his speckled king snakes, and no one fucking knows one for speckled king snakes.
Right, and now I think he got rid of all.
Got rid of them. Miller Ravage says it's hard to like what you like when you're the one who's wrong. Exactly, Miller Ravage. You would know you are wrong, and it's hard to like what you like.
Hey, but you both like the Black Russian Samboas.
I do like black Russian
There.
Samboas. Like, that's one of the few black
Yours-
snakes where I'm like, that's cool.
Yours came from him.
That's true.
You're welcome.
That is true.
Hey, aren't we supposed to like get some of those too?
He's got to have them first.
Yeah, he's got to have them first.
Didn't have them yet. Come on, Jason, get on it.
Jason, get your snakes to fuck. Come on. Freeze those things and then warm them up and let them have sex.
Yeah.
Now, if y'all, okay, so I find it funny when I talk to people that I guess they're not really boa people. It's non-boa people who have this tendency to think that boas are hard to breed. And I know my answer to this. Do you think boas are hard to breed?
I think it depends. Our Argentines they took forever to get to breed, and we had to drop the temperatures into like the 60s to get them to finally like the female to be willing. But the other ones, no, not too bad. I mean,
That's what I think. Yeah, Argentines are weird because they're a cold weather boa. That's why they're black, so they can try to absorb heat. But like Colombians, man, if I'm like, I think right now, if I wanted to breed them right now, I just go grab my male and throw it with my female, and I'm willing to bet he would try right now. And people talk about like cycling things and doing this or that. I'm like, I've never cycled my boas once. I just put them together, and they fuck. I don't know why
And
it's
then-
that easy.
6 months later, you have babies.
Yeah, it just takes forever to get babies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they happen, when you're in
Take care of
Amarillo
you.
and they're in Alexandria,
Yeah.
Louisiana.
Yeah, when you're 12 hours, 13, 14 hours away. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I always find it funny when non-boa people are like, yeah, boas are hard to breed. I'm like, I don't know. I put them together and they do it. I don't trick them into it. They seem
You didn't bribe them.
What
People
is-
rush it too. They'll just be like, "Oh, they're 3 years old. They can breed." No.
Yeah.
They should be 4 for the female, and 2 is probably best for the male, or if not older, is even better. But
yeah.
just don't
That's
rush.
what- That is true. They'll put them together and go, oh man, I don't have these won't breed, and they'll go try to get another one. Like this one's not going to breed. I'm like, well, it'll breed if you let it get old enough. It's
right.
Just, you know,
because that female's not going to let him breed if she's not ready.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've got a male sand boa who I'm pretty sure has raped many female sand boas. He doesn't care what they want. If he's ready, he's fucking ready.
Does he bite them?
He just go like you put him in there. I've put him in almost every time I've ever put him with a female. I'll put him in, come back, check 15 minutes. He's going. He's already breeding. I'm like, there's no way every single female is like, yeah, sure, you're cute. But
He's
man,
just like, stay.
Wow.
so Miller Radovich, they had 2 Russian litters, 1 sluglet. Oh, that sucks. But the darkest female who I was excited about is now cruising for food. So he's super disappointed.
Damn.
So probably not gonna be giving babies.
Damn, I really wanted a pair.
I don't care. I already have mine.
Actually, I
It's in
wanted a
the other room. I'm
1.2.
good.
You have a male.
I do have a male.
Yeah, no, it lived at my house for a while too.
Yep, I was like, I took care of that thing.
It lived in your house. You haven't bought one since then? You haven't tried to find 15 more to add to your collection since it was in your
No,
house?
because I'm only going to get them from Jason Miller.
I was gonna say no, we're only buying them from him.
I'm not buying shit from Jason Miller out of it.
No, your wife did.
That's true.
Actually, I did, and then she paid me back,
Sure. I didn't buy shit from Jason Miller. He didn't get
and then tricked you all weekend into thinking I bought it for me.
I was fucking pissed.
He was. It was great.
So what happened, guys? I'll tell y'all. Rachel and I were at the Pueblo, Colorado herp show, the last one, and the very last one that they did. And Jason was there. He had the Black Russians, and I knew that James wanted one. So I messaged Katie and said, "Hey, look what they have." Or no, I messaged James a picture, and I guess he showed Katie.
Yeah, I said,
Because
fuck you.
Then a few minutes later, I get a text from Katie, and she's like, "Hey, go buy that from Jason, and I'll send you the money. But don't tell James. I want it to be a surprise for Father's Day or birthday or something." So I go get it, and then I'm like, "Oh, I'm telling him, but I'm telling him it's mine."
Mm-hmm.
And send him a picture of it, and then Katie sends me a text like 10 minutes later. "You must have showed James a picture because he just walked in and said he doesn't have any friends anymore because John Grant sent him a picture and said he got one as well. I think
Something else.
something else that you wanted. Oh no, it was a
Was it Aldabra? Yeah, it was
Aldabra.
Aldabra tortoise. He had
And,
tortoise is the same.
So he was pouting all weekend, thinking he didn't have any friends anymore. And little did he know it was actually for him.
Fuck y'all. My
You're
snake.
He's a cool little dude, though.
He is. They're cool. I mean, it's up there. That's also one of the cool ones, like the rubber boas. I love my rubber boas. That's another one I saw more for rubber boa. Someone posted there was a white one, a white rubber boa.
What?
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, it's been around for a little while, but Miller Radovich, when we were talking about it, it's white, and I was like, that's cool. I'll take that too. Like, I'll take that one.
Well, that you were with rubber boas the way she was with Dumerals. You got one, and then now you have 4.
I do have 4. I had 6 at my house at one point, but 2 of them were for a friend of mine, and we ordered them in the same pair. I felt like just being like, fuck it, and keeping them. But I do have 4 of them. And again, I guess that's another one. Like the general public would look at a rubber boa and go, "That's not cool." Like, because they are a stupid looking snake. I mean, they're a monocolored looking worm, and they stay buried all the time. And that's what always gets me like, why do you like snakes that stay buried? You can't see them. Well, I can't if I take them out, you dipshit. I like that.
I just think it's cool that it's a boa that's native to the United States,
and I can freeze it.
You have to freeze it almost.
I fucking freeze them in the winter.
Who was it? Travis that said he had one they found in the snow.
Yeah, he was like 40 or 30 degrees outside. And he put his hand down, and it was just cruising.
Yeah.
Rubbers take up so much less space, though. That's true.
They fit in your wallet.
Come on, they fit in your wallet. I don't know. I haven't had one of those in there in a long time. But my rubbers are literally in a shoebox in a claw. They're not even on heat. They're not anywhere near a rack. I took them out of the cooler, and they never made it past the closet the cooler was in. I was like, this seems like a good place for y'all.
And they're doing great.
They're doing great. They eat like 2 pinkies every time I feed them.
I'll never forget coming over here, and you're like, "Look, there's ice on the tub, and look, the snake's moving around inside there, like
weird fucking snakes."
Yeah.
Which is like the Argentines. It's got to be very weird to have to cool down a boa.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, and they like elevation too. So that's a thing. And we don't have elevation.
I was saying you have 0 elevation.
Zero.
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 You're like us. We're at sea level here.
Or
So-
negative. Yeah.
I say we're at sea level, but we have a sea. You're at sea level, and it's just desert.
Dirt.
So does your sulcata, is it big enough to be outside?
He's 2. He's about this big.
Oh, okay, so he's still manageable.
So he's in a big black tub that he can't see out of.
So he hasn't hit full asshole status yet.
No, but he is an asshole.
So that always gives me like, I see people out like Arizona that have them. No,
Are you
No,
sure?
I'm
Because
positive.
I will give him to you.
No, I'm good. I've never bought a sulcata in my entire life, and I have 5
Well,
of them.
Yeah, just send it to
You
you.
just gift it.
I say that, but I have bought the 2 redfoots and the leopard tortoise that I own,
Mhm.
and those I'm like, these are way cooler.
I want
beginners.
leopard tortoises.
I don't understand why people that I was just listening to something the other day. You think about all the things that were popular pets, like the popular reptiles, and they're all pretty fucking horrible compared to every other reptile that's out there, like iguanas. Horrible.
Mhm.
Sulcatas, horrible. Berms were very common. Not a great beginner snake. Like horrible. And it's just there's so many better options that people would like. No, we'll skip right over that and go to the pain or like savannah monitors because they were cheap. Horrible. I say horrible. They're not. None of these are horrible when set up correctly.
Right.
It's just most people don't set them up correctly.
It's space too, especially
Yes.
sulcatas. Oh.
Oh, that's the whole reason that mine are still in Louisiana and I'm in Texas because we're renting here. And my house in Louisiana has a massive tortoise yard that's bigger than all of my yard at this house combined.
Yep.
So they're gonna have to stay there for a while.
I was like, my redfoots are like, one of them's about this big and one of them's about that big. So yeah, we got a long time still.
Mhm.
yeah, and they can fit in my yard here if I needed to.
Yes.
Although
Same with my desert. She's amazing. She's awake for 6 months and sleeps for 6 months.
Wow.
And
That's
she's
cool.
the size of a basketball, and that's it. She's amazing.
That's neat.
so since we're doing cleaning tools and everything for the giveaway, what is something in your reptile room that you use on a regular basis that you're like, I can't be without this thing?
We have all those red line tools. And then for sure our spray bottles, we use those.
Yeah, and I use the Venom Life. If you go on their website, they have the tub
Drawer
openers,
openers.
like a
Yeah.
drawer.
Oh, I have one.
They have, yeah.
The best thing in the world. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've had mine for about a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brent was at a show with us, and he's like, "Look, I have these," and we're like, "Well, that's fucking ingenious."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. I love it.
Well, it was one of those things too that they made and didn't think they would sell any of because they made one for somebody, and I think Brent told me it's like their best seller now.
Yeah.
Everybody should have one. They're amazing, especially with attitude snakes.
Yes.
Yes.
We have some. You just
Or snakes with really good feed responses.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Great tricks.
The ones that as soon as you walk in with the rodents, they're like, "Oh," and they're at the mouth of the tub waiting for you to open it.
I try to make sure I feed that one first.
Yeah. Right.
But that is a cool one. I am surprised how much I do like the shit scrapers. I was like, how impressive can shit scrapers really be? They scrape shit. I can do that with everything, but they work. They're really well, and like I like. I know there are several of the tools that I haven't used just because I haven't gotten to. I don't know the point of some of the curves or whatever, but some of them are super handy in like my V15 and V18 tubs, scraping out shit out of the corners.
I need a set, babe.
Well, Conroe, you can pick up a set in Conroe.
Yeah, Andy sells them. Somebody else usually has them too.
You can't win these though because you're on the podcast. So you
Well,
don't
I know I
understand.
can't ever win anything I'll put up on the podcast.
Nope. You win nothing.
I'm on it too often.
Nothing. Miller Adams said his Sonoran stuff has to get cooler too. That's also a higher elevation boa. I just it feels weird having to cool down a boa. That's one reason I don't think I'm ever going to breed my Brettles because I got to cool those down too.
We are going to brumate all of our colubrids this year for the first time, where we do everybody.
Are you going to just put them in the garage, or are you going to do a
Probably.
cooler? Garage.
Probably just going to put them in the garage.
So we have two options. We can either put them in the garage, or since Lily's room is available, I may just move them all in there
Open the window.
Open
and
the
open the window. I'll move Fergus somewhere else so we don't have to worry about him.
What is it?
Oh,
What's
the
that?
her bearded
Oh,
dragon. They don't have
Fuck, I
room
hope
for
he's
it.
with her by then.
I mean, they don't have any space to put that bearded dragon. He's going to live with us until she can
Check
move
and see how
out.
much of my problem that is. No, it's not.
It's not your.
Well, it's my problem because I've
I
been
know,
keeping
I know.
his ass
Anyway.
alive.
Anyway. Yeah, so we could do either one of those. But you know how it is here. It might be 50 today and 80 tomorrow.
I know that's the problem with like
Which is why we'll probably keep them.
people will be like, well, when you brewmate stuff, just put it in a basement for one. I'm like, those don't fucking exist.
That would be an underhouse
Yeah.
swimming pool if
That's
we had
cool.
those.
Yeah.
We don't have basements. And then they're like, well, just put it in a cold room. Well, those don't exist either because like Like you said, our winter can be a week, and then we can have summer again, and then we can have winter again the day after.
2017, Lily and I were hunting 2 days before Christmas.
In shorts.
She killed a nilgai.
Did you say in jorts?
Shorts.
Oh,
And
okay.
it was 85 degrees.
I thought you said jorts, and I was gonna be like, man.
And we had to pack that thing out 2 miles, and it weighed like 500 pounds, before we cut it up. And I remember thinking, it's 2 days before fucking Christmas, and I feel like I'm gonna die out here. It's so hot. And then by the time we got to the truck, a cold front blew through. Like we could see it coming. And by the time we got everything loaded up in the truck, it was like 40.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, welcome to Texas. It was 83, 84 earlier, and now it's 40.
Yep.
And I was in shorts with snake boots on out there.
Yeah, that's why I have to have the cooler for the rubber boas.
Mm-hmm. The colubrids are fine, though. If they get cold and warm, they'll be fine.
They survive the freeze just fine.
Yeah. I mean, there was things in our snake room that froze. A cup of water that was frozen during the freeze. And I was just like, the colubrids just got to ride it out.
And every one of them did.
Yeah. No problems at all.
Jason says 40 is short sleeves weather.
Yeah, here too, man.
It is for me.
I don't wear blue jeans ever if I don't have to.
I mean, I typically have on blue jeans and short sleeves, but I'll have a jacket on if I'm outside and it's 40.
Just the problem is we don't get it long enough to enjoy it.
Right.
Yeah.
They have no humidity. That is true.
Yeah.
You have no humidity. But my snakes also shed really well, no problem. So,
yeah.
You guys probably don't have a lot of humidity where you're at either, right?
No, when our snakes suck at shedding, especially the retics.
Yeah.
They just look like they explode.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, that's what the Doom Rules did, but it was perfect shed. She just exploded.
Yeah. It's almost like they just like get to a point where they just puff up. Bam, bam, everything just pops off.
My rainbow boa, my adult female will have a good shed every now and then every now and then I'll walk in. I didn't even know she was in shed, and then there's just all the shed all over the cage. I'm like, what the hell happened?
Yeah, and there's the only thing you could do at that point is just clean all the reptile out and start over, because you're not going to sit there and pick out every little piece of shit.
I just spot clean the bigger pieces and throw more reptile in there. I'm like,
y'all use reptile, right? I think I saw on your.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I love reptile.
It's like,
so, I mean, y'all would need to out there too, because y'all just need something that's got to hold humidity.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we have a tegu who needs humidity, and our Asian water monitor needs humidity, and the snakes need humidity. You got a lot of things.
Yep.
Miller Adovich says it sucks to do a full cage clean because of shed. That's because I don't. I just pick out pieces and they could just live in some skin. It's not.
I'm the same way.
It's not shit. We're good. They can live in some shed. But so I was going through Morph Market, because I was going to just try and choose a random person to look at their Morph Market. But then I pulled up y'all's Morph Market. Just so you know, there is an Argentine boa they have for sale.
Yes.
That's true.
So he's a year old, so I marked him a little bit more because he can breed another year or so.
He looks about as happy as all Argentine boas I've ever seen.
He has an attitude. That was the best photo we could get of him too.
I think that's the default setting for Argentines, isn't it?
Yeah.
As babies, for sure.
They're all super vocal.
Yeah.
They don't ever bite. They just hiss at you and open their
bluff.
mouth, but they don't hardly ever bite. Yeah.
And then I was looking at, of course, the other shit's VPI, which just upsets me because I can't do anything with that.
I mean, you could. You just
I can't do anything with it. It's VPI. Stop it.
get some VPI stuff.
No,
I can.
Yes, she can.
That's true. You can.
I haven't chosen a path yet.
That-
So my Motley Het Colobino was actually given to me by somebody who just got out of reptiles.
And thought it was a
And they
male.
thought it was a male, but James has checked it on multiple
not a male.
occasions, and it's a female. And so it's a 2015.
Okay.
And so I'm pretty excited about it. And then I was like, oh, I kind of like boas. And that's kind of where
And that tail stripe
down
on
the tunnel of the doom rolls. And I want more boas.
the tail stripe on that one you have on Morph Market is insane.
I really like that one.
It's like almost half the body length.
Look
Yeah.
at this one.
I see it.
Kind of want that.
You can get it. They have it for sale. It's right there.
Boas. He has boas that blow ours out of the water on Morph Market.
Yeah.
Who is it?
Low key boas.
Low key boas.
Low key.
Jason Miloradovich said, "Get some VPI stuff. Love it. Problem solved, James."
Shut up, Miloradovich. Is that Brad Sherman? Is that the?
Well, Brad
Yeah.
Sherman's our buddy, yeah. And then low key boas is Jazz Shillings.
I can't talk.
We
talk
do
about yourselves.
projects together.
I'm trying to look it
Well,
up.
sorry, I'm getting distracted by all the pretty boas.
I'm trying to find.
It's like I'm trying to find it. Keep the conversation going.
We have another.
Talk amongst yourselves.
No, here I'll talk. We have another project that are triple recessive. The twins.
Oh yeah, they're leopard, call, and anery, and then with a Roswell ladder tail. Since you like that, see if you can hit all 3 odds on that. But
That'd be awesome.
That's cool.
yeah.
So, have y'all ever thought about getting into the scoria stuff?
I've thought about it. I just haven't. The problem, I've never seen one in person, so
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, they look cool in pictures, but I've never seen one in person to know if I would like it or not. It's just like
there's a lot of cloud around how that gene plays out over time.
yeah.
We talked about earlier, people talk about morphs having issues. That was one that for a while people were, and I don't know if that's people trying to drive the price down because they didn't like it or they're upset or if it really was a wobble issue to them or I don't know. So
yeah, they're cool looking.
Okay.
I don't even know what they are. I'm still learning about boa morphs. Like I'm just now really starting to dive more into it and trying to figure out what I like.
It's a good thing I'm poor, so I kind of.
You can message him. He knows.
Okay.
He researches at least every day.
Well, so I do that. I've done that a lot with the ball pythons. So I know what I've got and what I can make. And I've got about 5 years worth of genetics planned out on each snake, depending on what I hit when their clutches come out and whatnot. And so I've been having to learn the corn snake so I can help my son who buys his own corn snakes and milk snakes and all that kind of jazz. And so I've been having to learn about a lot of different genetics to try to make sure I can help him, but he can talk genetics with the best of us. And it's so fun to listen to him do it. And so he teaches me about corn snake genetics because I'm trying to catch up and make sure I can help him correctly. Right. And now I'm going to work on hog noses because we have some that will be able to start breeding.
What's up?
So I'm really glad I'm poor because I can't. That way I can't really accidentally buy this. But so,
like squirrel.
The 6,000.
And so then boas will be my next thing that I'll do some more studying on.
So I had said on a previous episode I wanted to start like just going on people's morph market things and talking about the animals, and we did that with y'all's I think a couple weeks back when we knew we were gonna have y'all, and we went and talked about y'all's. But so I'm gonna talk about low key because I went to your buddies, and he's got a hypo-labyrinth jungle double het anery blood.
Yeah,
that is fucking amazing.
That's the pairing to. That's the same litter as that one that we have.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The photos don't do it justice. It is pink. Like a lipstick line that they have not invented.
Don't say that. That makes me feel even worse. No, that's VPI. I'm not clicking on that. It's VPI. No, Rachel, doesn't exist. VPI is not real. It's like ball pythons. They're not real. Oh,
okay, I can remember that. I can look that one up.
It's just so go check out low key boas. If you're a boa person, check out low key boas on Morph Market. He's got some amazing stuff right now. And a lot of it would really.
My husband's gonna go change the password on the Morph Market account. Be like, nope, you can't look.
Let me do that right now.
You'd be dead in your sleep.
See, this one's only 900, and it's amazing. It's a hypojungle double het anery blood.
Yeah.
But
tell him we sent you. He's our buddy.
You know what saves me from not spending? Well, besides not having money, it doesn't have albino in it, so I can talk myself out of it.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm poor.
He's getting out of call right now too.
I love call. But that stuff looks good. Yeah. But then I look at y'all's VPI stuff and I don't like y'all anymore.
Just get some VPI stuff.
Not doing.
Do you want to hear what else he's doing, James? He's trying to do bloods.
Oh yeah,
blood pythons, not blood boas. Blood pythons.
Yeah, you just like getting bit.
Yeah, cleaning up when they pee twice a year.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Just some different stuff. They're more entertaining than ball pythons to me.
Somebody had a full-grown blood python piss in the travel tote this weekend. And I'm like, that snake was literally swimming.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, how did that much come out of that
snake?
It's
like gallons. It's insane.
Yeah, it is insane how much it was. And they were like, yeah, now I got to go. And it was Sunday morning when they found it and they couldn't get any water.
There is no such thing as partial bedding changes for a blood.
Because they came over to me and were like, man, do you guys have any water? And I was like, I got ice cold bottles of water. Oh, but then I remember we had some in the bed of the truck. So I told them to go out to our truck and they got a couple bottles of water so they could rinse the damn thing. Yeah, that's why it was open. I don't even know who they were. They just, I think it's become now if somebody needs something that's not a tool, Sean sends them to us. If they need medicine or water, they need a tool and Bryce is there, they go to Bryce.
Sorry, I forgot again. I want to lean this way.
Then move your mic over there. It's on a articulating
No, I
stand.
forget it
What?
moves.
We have the technology.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
Yeah, well, shit. I was like, I'm tired.
So, anyways, I've talked plenty of boa stuff now. Now I need to go play with my boas.
Mm-hmm.
I need to breed. So, when do y'all follow a season for your breeding, or do you just breed year round with certain stuff for your boas?
No, yeah, we follow a season. They we normally take them off feed in September until like right around Thanksgiving, and then pair them up and start to try to breed them. Because then the temperature actually drops a little bit here. Otherwise, it's still in the hundreds. It seems like.
Or we turn the air down.
Yeah.
So, do y'all follow? I know when I normally breed stuff, I tend to try and follow seasonal, like by holidays. Is that how y'all normally do it too?
Yeah. Yeah, right about Thanksgiving is when we normally pair them all up. For sure.
Yeah.
Before that, they're just not interested.
Yeah, that's the Sambos have always been easy. And I've said before, is the great thing about them is when the male stops eating, I know he wants to have sex. That's how. And as long as he stops eating, then wants to have sex, I'll put him with anything. Although right now I've got 3 males that are ready to breed, and only one of them actually does anything, and it's the cheap one.
Jason, you can breed ball pythons year round.
Yeah, that's the thing. As we're saying, there's a season for boas, but not for ball pythons.
And that's so much better.
Either I think you can just breed whenever too.
Yeah.
But no one should breed ball pythons, is what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
I mean, they make money.
Or retics.
Or retail.
No offense.
Sorry, Dax and Taylor.
I say Dax is probably gone now.
Sorry.
No one should breed retics. Oh, freaking retics. Everyone should get boas. You don't have to deal with it. All the incubator people would go out of business. No more incubators.
I'm okay with that.
Don't need incubators. You don't have to worry about that shit. But depending on the boa, you don't have to cool them down. You just kind of be like, here's some food. Here's some time without food. So get boas. They're much easier. And they're cooler.
Way cooler.
And a blob of live babies is so much cooler than watching someone on YouTube finger fucking egg.
I can't wait to get my first blob of live babies.
It's a ton of fun.
Like,
It's a
if
nice
you
rush.
get them before me, you need to call me and be like, Rachel.
No, you'll hear me.
Oh, I hear you.
I scream every time. Every time I have baby sick. It doesn't matter. I don't care how many I've had. Every Sambo litter, doesn't matter if it's like 3 of them. I scream every time. My family in the house knows exactly whenever babies are born. And at that point, I'm up like until like 3 a.m. because I'm too excited.
Ours normally happens during a rainstorm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I had. So my last big boa litter, I was going on a cruise for a week, and it was at the time of the litter. So I bought a camera to keep on it at all times, and I was sitting at work, like, and I was supposed to leave on Friday. I think this was Friday or Thursday or whatever, and I knew it was the weather was starting to come in, and like I'll just pull up the camera, watch. I'm like, is that tail lifted? Is the tail lifted now? Is it? And I thought I saw a little bit of wet on the paper, and I was like, maybe. And then I got home, and like she starts cruising with her tail up. I was like, fuck yeah, this is gonna happen before I go on the cruise. She had the babies. I got them set up, and then I went on the cruise for a week. Came back, they were shedding, and it was time to feed them.
Perfect.
But I was so paranoid that she was gonna have the babies like a day after I left town, and I was on a ship, and no one could get a hold of me, and I'm just like, fucking, I'm not gonna know they're born.
Yeah.
We're always at work.
Yeah. Unless,
Or in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've only caught a few here and there. I caught that boa giving birth. I sat there and just stared at it for hours. I didn't move. And I just watched it give birth. And then I've caught my rosy boas giving birth once. And I think like Samboas a couple of times. But usually like Samboas that just come in, and I'm like checking on Samboas, and then a head sticking up in the aspen. I'm like, oh, there's babies in there. And then just go on the baby hunt. But the problem is you don't know, like if you're late to the babies being there, you don't know if there were stillborns. That's the problem with like boas. Like you don't know if there were any stillborns or slugs because they could have eaten them all.
Yeah.
Oh.
So like with your ball python people, y'all get nasty eggs, and they'll just sit on those nasty eggs and let them rot. Whereas boas are smart. They're like, hey, I haven't eaten in a while.
I mean, I don't.
Let's eat this.
My ball pythons self-incubate. I take them out.
Yeah, but they would still wrap around those nasty rotten
yeah, they
eggs
will.
because they're special.
They're very special snakes.
Miller Ravish's live babies is like a drug. It's such an exciting high. It really is.
Yeah.
And it's almost depressing when you know that your last litter for the year is done.
Yeah.
I am very sad that like when I finally get to pair them, it's still going to be like 6 months before I get to see babies.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
Way
ready
too
for
long.
babies.
It's way too long.
Rainbow boas are the worst. Rainbows are a full 6 months for babies, and it is agonizing when you get to the last month because you're like, anytime now, be great, and it's just giant swollen snake, and like, nope, not gonna do it. So at least with boas, it's like what 5 months, whatever, 4 to 5 months.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not that bad.
It seems like out here it's like
14 has been around.
114, 115 days after their ovulation shed.
Yeah.
It's pretty consistent.
See, what upsets me is when I have a snake that's pregnant and then sheds in the middle of the pregnancy and really throws me the fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you're not supposed to do that.
No.
And then I'm like, all right, well, they're not pregnant.
Right.
And then like they start to swell up. You're like, are they getting fat or is it just my head?
Yeah.
Do I think they're pregnant?
It's only 6 months for boas, but for the Dumerals boas, it's 9 months, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dumerals take a while.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
they
take
take a
forever.
long time.
Sorry, Rachel.
It's okay. I'm okay with that. It's just very frustrating to know that I have to wait that long to
Yeah.
find,
You have a camera? You should get a camera. The live cameras are the best in there.
Yes. Well,
Oh, yeah.
speaking of that,
I will do that.
Vivtech, we need to get him Ryan on because he has come out with a camera for inside your cages, an all-weather indoor outdoor camera to put in cages for that reason.
Send him a message. Just get him on again.
So I'm gonna try to get him on, and we'll talk about that because I saw on the Snake Discovery where they did the cage build off. One of the prizes was the cameras
No?
from Vivtech, and it's a weatherproof camera. And I knew he was working on it, but it's and I'm sure it's more than just knowing Ryan. It's more than just a camera.
And we'll see Ryan in a few weeks at NARBC.
in just a few weeks.
So I know it's more than just a camera. It's got to be tons of. I think y'all had a picture somewhere on your Facebook or something of a Vivtech light bulb, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, with our Sulcata.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all have used it and y'all love it too, right?
Amazing.
Mhm.
Amazing. I want them all for all the animal. Well,
Oh, yeah. He's got it up on the website.
Yeah, I need to get a
Smart
couple
monitor.
more. I was
Smart
telling
monitor,
Robert, I was like, we're gonna have to start ordering one a month until we
yeah.
have them for
Use your
everybody.
code. Use your code. Get it.
Yep.
Get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gumbo 22 out there. Anybody listen? Gumbo 22 gets you 15% off on your light bulbs. And now that I'm gonna have to pull up these monitors. Yeah, that's cool. He has it on. Yeah, it's on there. It's the smart monitor.
Yes.
I still need to buy one of these UVB readers that he has. I haven't done
Yeah,
it yet.
Yeah, those are cool.
He calls it the in situ cam reel. I love that.
Y'all have the reader. Y'all like it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's see it's control and monitor your habitats from anywhere. It's got on-off control, dimming control, date and time control, senses temperature, senses humidity, a data logger. You can monitor ambient readings. There's video.
And isn't it all connected to his app?
Yes.
So he's got
it's
a bunch of little a gateway connector, smart sensor, on-off plug.
A dimmable plug.
Mhm.
Yeah, those plugs look like they'd be really cool when you're trying to like change your times of day, for the animals.
So we've got our bearded dragons and our tortoises and our box turtle on smart plugs.
And our blue tongue skink.
And our blue tongue skink on smart plugs. So I have them set to the lights come on at dawn and go off at dusk. So they get a natural, longer days and then shorter days as the year goes on. But like right now, we lost power one day last week and it has forgotten all of them. So I have to go through and reset them all in the system.
So looking at this, it's only $30 for the dimmable one. And the reason the dimmable smart plug will be smart is because now they have the dimmable UVB LED bulbs. So now you can set them up on a true sunrise,
That's all.
and a true sunset.
Yeah.
You can really see, I bet, especially in some lizards, you'll really start to see a change in behavior when they get that lower level of UV for a short period of time, like a sunset or a sunrise.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Asian water monitor loves it.
It changed one of my bearded dragon's lives. When we had gotten her, she was a rescue. She was real shaky, could barely walk. She wasn't fed a good diet. She was about 2 years old. And we had gotten her moving fairly well, and she was doing really well, completely different. And then when we got that light, he screwed it in, and she picked her head up. And for the first time we had ever seen, she ran across her cage and laid under that light for like 4 days.
That's precious.
And then ever since then, she runs in her.
She
enclosure
spends
now.
more time under her UV light than she does her heat lamp.
She
now.
does 100%. When she's ready for bed, she goes back over to the side where her heat light is. But other than that, if she's during the day, she's under that UV
Yep,
light
she goes
all
and
the
puts her
time.
face in the corner, facing away from everybody.
Yeah, when she's ready to go to bed.
That the UV helps with the digestion. She doesn't need the heat anymore. Or
Maybe. I mean, she definitely doesn't utilize the heat the way she used to.
She doesn't as much as so in the evening she does. When she's ready to go to bed about 5 o'clock, she goes and sticks her nose in the back corner where she can't see you and lays under her heat until her lights turn off. And most of the time she stays put right in that same spot until morning.
Yeah, I always worry about digestion, if you need the actual heat or if those bulbs actually help with the digestion.
I don't know. So I always try to make sure I feed them early enough in the day. Right. Like I try to do it in the morning. A, just because I don't want to forget. It's kind of a habit. And B, I know they've got their heat in case they have to have it for the digestion. I don't really know.
Yeah, we do the same in the morning. I like to do morning feeds.
It's just way easier in the morning for that kind of stuff. So typically try to cut up any vegetables a couple days in advance and have enough made up. I was say because between the 2 tortoises and the turtle and then the 4 bearded dragons.
Sorry, I was reading through the new. I haven't actually checked out the VivTech website, and he's got 2 types of cameras. He's got a camera for outside and a camera for inside the cage, and then he's got the dimmable plugs, the regular plugs. He's got temperature and humidity sensors. So you can, those are only $30, so you can put them in and monitor that. So really, if you get this hooked up, if you have like a misting system also hooked up to one of these plugs, and you realize with the sensor that your humidity is dropping, you can click on your humidifier on your misting system and raise the humidity. So,
he's brilliant.
And you can do all that shit from the other side of the globe if you wanted to.
Yeah. I think that would be cool to have a camera in every cage.
You just up in the corner of the cage.
Up in the corner of the cage, and you could look at all your goddamn, I'd have a lot of cameras to choose from.
I'd only really, my breeding females that give live birth, definitely.
Yeah, you definitely want to watch the females.
Yeah, that's
because when it gets down to day 111, and you're like, come on, you're checking. I walk into my snake room every fucking hour, probably more. I'm always walking in there. That's why I can never be one of those people that have a snake room that's not part of their house, that's out like the shed or somewhere else. Yeah, I can't do that because when snakes are
on my property, I'm okay.
Oh no, I need to be able to walk in and out. I'll
just go stay out there because when we have one that's its own building, it's going to have a couch and a TV
it's going to have a little
seating area.
Space.
Yeah. I just need to be able to walk into my room naked. That's really all I want. And I don't want to clean cages naked. That's a horrible idea.
But your snake room is right next to your daughter's room, so I don't.
Well, she's asleep. She's dead to the world. We're good.
Okay, cool.
So, I mean, that's fine.
Yeah.
I should throw a little robe on and walk out across the yard.
Now that we've gotten talking about being naked, let's wrap things up here. Oh,
I just think Casper the Friendly Ghost thinking. When James says something about being naked, I'm like, yep, probably like Casper.
So anything that we didn't touch on that y'all want to touch on, what y'all have available, what y'all have come up, if y'all have litters that you want, this would be the time to plug all that stuff. Go at it.
No, man, most of our litter, aside from the VPI stuff that you need to buy,
no,
everything else is sold for right now.
Yeah.
No,
our bloods did not catch on last year. Our het bloods, and now they're all selling. It's weird.
Interesting.
I need to quit looking at more. I'm going to close this out. Actually,
Jason said James.
I'm ignoring Jason.
Jason.
I'm ignoring Jason. I can turn your microphone off. We're ignoring Jason.
I'm glad I can carry.
Yes.
Anyways, shut up, Jason.
Jason said James is tempting his snakes with the little pinky.
Fuck you, man. Go back to our original comment at the beginning of this podcast. As long as I get mine. Anyways, if someone wants to reach out to y'all and if they want VPI stuff, how can I get a hold of y'all?
We're at Colossal Constrictors on Instagram and Facebook, and my phone number's out there. You can call me. Somebody called me, actually. And
that seems like a weird thing to say. You're sitting right next to your husband. My phone number's out there for anybody that wants to.
Yep, any gentleman that wants to call, my number's out there.
all the gentlemen callers that want to call.
I want to be available if you have questions. I want to be that person who helps you. Even if you don't buy from me, I want to answer your question. It makes me feel better.
Yeah.
I know Chris Eaton's probably vomiting right now.
Who knows? He disappeared.
He's probably still there.
He hasn't been screwing with me.
Whoa, hey, whoa.
She said with.
I said with.
Exactly.
As long as the width is in there.
With.
So I just pulled up the in situ camera that they have.
Mm-hmm.
I could put that outside in my tortoise barn.
You could.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be cool.
I could be able to see my tortoise tortoises from the tortoise barn.
That'd be cool from here.
From here.
Yeah.
Here.
They have Wi-Fi there, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's close enough to the house. It'd probably work.
Yeah, it's right there.
As I say, it's right out your backyard.
Fuck, now I got to spend money on cameras.
That would be cool to be able to see your tortoises from 300 miles away.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good thing I have a code Gumbo22 and I can save 15% on the camera.
Ta-da.
So in case you might at checkout, you want Gumbo22, just saying all one word. Anyways, so they can check y'all out on Morph Market and Instagram and Facebook.
Yep.
At Colossal Constrictors, all those. Robert, if they want to check you out and look at you,
I don't know why they would.
Just look him up on Facebook.
LSReptileRacks.com, Facebook, text me,
TikTok,
yeah, a little bit. I haven't posted much lately on there, but I did take a video today that I need to edit up and put on there.
I saw a non-reptile animal thing today that I thought was interesting. So you know how like in Texas we have 1 trillion I want to say grackles, but they're not grackles. They're
Purple Martins.
no, the big blackbirds. They're not grackles.
Crows?
They're
Ravens.
fuck no, they're ravens. They're god damn it. It's not starlings. Maybe they're grackles. Anyways, the big blackbirds that we have shit up, like you go to the grocery store or the gas station, there's tons of them. I went and pulled up to Buc-ee's at gas earlier, and I look over and a car pulled up, and there's 2 of them. They've gotten smart. They went and they picked bugs off the grill of the car,
Yeah.
and they were eating the bugs off the grill of the car while it was parked there getting gas.
Yeah.
I was like,
Okay.
I used to
genius.
feed one at the Buc-ee's in Texas City every morning when I used to do construction. I would go there and get a breakfast taco in the morning, right when that one first opened, and she only had 1 foot. And she'd come hop over, and I'd throw her a little bit of egg, and she would eat, and she would run all the other ones off, and then she'd fly off. She only had 1 foot, so I knew it was her every day.
I was just thinking, this is genius. Like,
But yeah, I watched them pick off the cars plenty of times.
just hecking it right out of the grill.
That's like
you have a
evolution. I mean,
Yeah.
you're watching evolution happen. They've learned that
So what do they do when we all kill ourselves and we're not around to feed them anymore?
those that learn that die off, and all the ones that learn how to pick up bugs in the grass
They just
live.
eat our dead bodies, I guess. Also.
Probably.
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 Our toasted dead bodies from whatever.
See, we should contact the people that do life after people and tell them, hey, you need to do the birds,
Yeah, the birds.
whatever those birds are.
Anyways, if you want to get a hold
Others.
of, I haven't done my Facebook and everything in a while. Check out Simply Serpents because again, I'm gonna try to post to my Instagram every couple days. Check out Simply Serpents it's simply _serpents on Instagram or Simply Serpents on Facebook. Or if we get a hold of the podcast, it's the Reptile Gumbo podcast on Instagram and Facebook and at gmail.com. And don't forget our giveaway. We got one more day. If you're listening to this, you got one more day to get in the giveaway. Sponsored by Colossal Constrictors and get you some shit scrapers. I know it doesn't sound fascinating, but I swear you need shit scrapers. They're very important to your reptile room. They come in handy. Plus, you need very long tongs for those times you go and you feed snakes naked. You want to make sure you got some distance. Now, I strongly suggest you don't feed snakes naked. It's a bad idea, but it happens.
No,
No,
Doesn't
it doesn't.
You've never fed snakes naked?
I've
just
fed
feed
naked
snakes.
snakes, but
Whoa.
not
Scaleless.
no.
Naked.
I mean, every now and then I got to go up there and double check. I get out of the shower and like, oh, something didn't eat, and I just want to shift it to another cage and not waste the food.
You don't own a pair of basketball shorts?
Pajama pants.
Those are in the drawer. I'd have to open the drawer and get those out.
Tie your towel around your waist.
Well, that towel goes back on the rack.
That doesn't work for big fellas. They don't make towels like that.
Nope.
He could so fit a beach towel around himself.
She just called you super fat, and I'm not super fat. Ha ha!
And we have bath sheet towels, so
Yeah.
they would go all the way around.
That's
you.
just a
Do you mind I'd take 2 steps and it'd fall off?
They fall down.
I was trying to think. We didn't check out our Facebook page, our thing real quick. I was trying to see if there's anything on there real quick. Let me do a run through. Oh, I posted a bean that I thought was funny that fit us as a hobby. It was we passed the free soda for all act, and it says, awesome. When do we get our free soda? They said free soda. The bill makes owning a dog illegal. That was basically what we had to fight off in our hobby. Like, we're going to save people and give money to people. When do I get my money? You can't own snakes. Well, I didn't want to own snakes.
That's our way we're saving you money.
Oh, the fucking video of the girl in Philadelphia walking around with the alligator in the splash fountain.
Didn't see this.
I didn't see it.
No.
She's got on a leash. This
Her
girl
emotional support gate.
in Philadelphia is walking in this little area where all the kids are playing right there, and she's walking it around on a leash because you know why? Philadelphia. That's why.
Okay, wow.
Because that's where they have Hamburg, and you can go up there and buy an alligator for
Philly is the only
bag of
city in
tacos.
the nation that has more murders than Houston this year. So
really.
yeah,
That alligator may stop that girl from getting murdered. So
Right.
That'd be good.
I was gonna say that'll keep her alive.
So
Did you see that TikTok with the girl that had the boa in her hair tie?
yes.
I missed that one.
I commented on there. It was like, hey, you know who you don't see doing this? responsible keepers.
Right.
Mhm.
We don't take our fucking snakes to McDonald's.
Oh, you know what? I did see that.
Yeah.
They zoom in and there's this little
Yes.
tiny boa.
Rachel and I were sitting at a stoplight one day. No, we were at a pet store nearby, and it was like in the low 40s. And this girl pulls up in a convertible with the top down, and she has a baby ball python around her neck,
God.
driving down the road in the 40s. And I'm like, yep, that snake will be dead.
Yeah.
I said, there's an RI going to happen right there.
Mm-hmm.
And you could tell she was one of those that if you said anything to her, she was just going to lose her shit. And, I'm like, whatever.
So there was a TikTok post that got shared in a group that I argued on, and I may be wrong, but I will emphasize if I am wrong.
That snake is way too stiff to be alive.
It's a video of a retic drinking out of a cup, but the retic's neck is bent, and it never, when it goes in the cup, it's bent, and when it comes out of the cup, it's the same shape.
Yeah.
And it, to me, seems like someone has a pump inside of it, and they're pumping the water out of a hose through its mouth and out of a hole in the back of the neck of a dead snake. People keep telling me it's alive. That's fine. If it's alive and I'm wrong, it's one of the most dehydrated retics on earth.
I went to that.
I know that's moving, but I still think it's a pump. Like the hose is moving.
I went to that jackass's TikTok.
Yeah.
He has a video where he put two Burmese python males together to show people what it looks like when they fight for educational purposes.
No.
And they are fucking getting at it, fighting. And he put them in, two males in with a female so that they would for sure fight. And people are like, bro, why are you doing that? And he's like, educational purposes.
That's not education.
No.
That's
No.
So like I said, with this snake, if it is real, it should not want to stick its head in a cup of water and drink the entire cup of water.
Mm-mm.
Not if you have kept it hydrated.
It looks to me like that there's a tube in that, because look, when it pulls out,
Yeah.
you can see the whole throat's like pushed out.
Yeah.
But there was no point in arguing it. The people had their mind made up.
I mean, you don't see the, and retic eyes
And
move.
then
You know,
watch the way its head. It's when its neck starts coming out.
it's one piece.
It's just it's like that's a dead snake.
It is one.
I did what?
That's sad.
Well, and of course it got posted in the clusterfuck that is the Tennessee snake group.
Yeah.
And those are not snake people. Those are just people that want to talk shit about snakes. So,
That group never disappoints.
it's,
Darren said you could always make a reptile gumbo speedo to wear around.
Yeah.
We don't even have Reptile Gumbo shirts. So
it's only been 2 years. We'll get to this.
Mhm.
I did post an awesome one. It was a hellbender eating a water snake. That was posted over in the group.
Mhm.
There's an awesome underwater picture of a hellbender with a water snake in its mouth, which just tells you how fucking awesome hellbenders are. So that was what got posted on there this week. So, anyways, let's go ahead and get out of here. I think there's still some leftover pizza on the stove that I'm gonna go eat me.
I have a lava cake still.
Oh, I have lava cake too. Thanks again for that. That's gonna be good.
You're welcome.
I'm ready for the other.
As long as my kid didn't eat all that shit. She was left downstairs by herself. She may have eaten all of it. I may kill her.
Sick kid.
All right, let's get out of here. Thank y'all for being on here. Hang around while we get off. Thanks everybody else for listening. We will be back next week. I guess I need to find a guest for next week. I'll find a guest before now.
Or you could just release some of our interviews.
Try to save this for a little bit longer.
Well, we're about to get more for Conroe.
That is true. We'll see.
You have enough to do 2 more episodes.
That is true. But I still want to get Ryan on, so I may reach out to Ryan.
Yeah, if Ryan comes on, I'll be here. If it's not Ryan, I'm not coming next week.
We can. We'll see.
I guess I'll be filling in for Robert next week.
We may be back next week. Thank y'all for listening, and good night. Wave to everybody as we log off.